What is up, everybody? Welcome into the channel. We're getting ready to get started here and having a little bit of a technical difficulty, so hopefully this goes live. We'll see how it works here, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in. We're checking out everything, making sure we're all good to go. If you can hear me, appreciate it if you could drop me a comment. That would help out a lot. Make sure the audio is good. We are doing some new software, some new microphone work, so hopefully getting a little bit better turnaround for you guys. So thank you guys for sticking around and waiting for me there as we get started, and we should be good to go here pretty quick. So bear with me just one moment here, and we are almost to the point where we need to be. Oh, it's a Monday, guys. Welcome into the stream. If you've not been here before, thank you guys so much for joining. If you're rewatching this, thank you guys for taking a chance and clicking on it to see what we got going on. Today we're going to be doing some packing orders. We got a bunch of orders to go out, so we're going to work on that and make sure we are getting everything out in a timely manner, but hopefully going to be talking about some good topics that you guys might be interested in, as well as not just showing you all what sold, but actually showing you where we got a lot of this stuff that did sell. So hopefully that's of interest to you guys. Thank you once again, guys. I know I'm not on screen yet. I apologize. I'm trying to get everything set up here, and hopefully we can get this working. All right, there we go. There we go. I think I got everything now, hopefully. Oh my goodness. All right, welcome in, guys. If you can let me know how the audio is. I know it's been an issue ongoing here, so hopefully it's good. Hopefully the new camera setup doesn't lag too much. That's what I'm a little worried about. Sorry you had to see my face that close for a second there. But like I said, we are trying our best to get everything set up and rolling, and it is taking forever to get it working. But it's supposed to hopefully going to be some better quality as well, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it. Sounds good. Awesome. Great. The microphone is in kind of an odd spot on my shirt here, so if you guys notice me catching it or whatever and it's making any popping sounds or whatnot, let me know. I'd appreciate it on that as well. But we're going to dig in and get started here. Like I said, guys, I'm just trying to make sure I've got a bunch of screens in front of me, making sure everything is ready to rock and roll, and it looks like we are. All right. We have a bunch of orders going out. We got about 50 orders going out today. This is Friday, Saturday, Sunday orders, as last week was. So it took me some time. We had a really good weekend again, but this is from 3 days. Did just over $2,500 in sales. So super grateful for that. Super happy to be able to maintain those sales, and hopefully we can keep that rolling. Summer slowdown is coming up, and that's actually going to be a topic on maybe next week's video. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what you can possibly do to help with that, as well as, just being ready for it. And that'll be next week's topic unless something else bigger comes up. But that will be kind of what we're thinking. But today we're going to be talking about sourcing while we go through. And basically what my plan is to kind of tell you where I got everything, which I kind of do already, but actually talk about the positives and negatives of the different places that you can source, the different places I source. And would also love to hear from you guys on how you guys are sourcing from, if you've got different areas, or maybe you're purchasing different product from some of the ones that I mentioned. Just different types of sourcing and so on, kind of give an idea of what you guys do, not just me. So we're going to start by getting some orders shipped out here, and hopefully we can do it and not be too scatterbrained. I did take the weekend off, so I'm trying to get back into the flow of it, and it's killer for me. When I say I took the weekend off, I actually went somewhere. We went back home to Arizona, where I'm from, for a little while, just a weekend visit. Did a little golf or a little driving range, and I've never done that before, so that was fun. We got some of that in. And yeah, just trying to get back into the focus, get back into the grind, doing the live videos. Believe it or not, like I said, we're running a different camera setup, so hopefully the quality is better. That's the main goal with this. But we're also trying to adjust the microphones and stuff, get all that set up this morning, and pick 50 orders because I just got in last night. It's been a mess, but we're getting there, and we are going to do our best to make this video entertaining as well for those of you that have joined us already. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a couple orders before we start talking about sourcing. First order we got going out is this Travis Matthew, which I'm not real familiar with the brand, to be honest. This might be a Bolo brand. I don't know. but we picked these up from a hat source that I have. I can't give all that information away. I'm not going to be able to tell you where these come from, but it is a hat source that I have that I buy a bunch of different, it can be cheap hats, it can be expensive hats, just depends on what they have at the time. These were cheap hats, and we actually only paid, I think, $2.50 for this one, and we did sell it for $39.99, which is actually the retail price on it. So love when I can sell a hat for retail. It is a flex fit, a large, extra large, which is always a good size. But yeah, just a basic hat. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't know much about the brand, but it's going out, so we will take that sale. My labels are a mess today, so I might have to spend a little bit of extra time finding the right one. So bear with me, guys. Like I said, it is a Monday as always, and it's been fun already trying to get everything set up. But thank you guys so much for joining and hanging out with me today. So we got that going out to Brandon in Loomis, California. Not sure where that is. And I do have, unfortunately, a few items that I didn't get the labels for. So I'm hoping that's not an issue and we don't spend too much time trying to find them and they're not there. But I do have a few of those that I got to be careful for. Like I said, that one went out $2.15 to $40. We'll take that all day long for sure on the hats. Got another hat going out here. These I think I've mentioned before, again from my hat source. And actually I can tell you this is if you watch any of Adam from the Millennial Prophet, his videos, he talks about some of his sources that he can't necessarily name, but this is that $5 hat source, or $5 hat sale, I guess I should say. We don't necessarily like to give that one out because it is going to be probably something in the future, and we kind of like to keep that under wraps. Hats is one of those things a lot of people like to tank, so spreading news about them is not exactly advantageous for us because people don't understand how the hat game works. But these ones sold, and I actually think I sold out of these particular ones. These are the Browning, like the gun company. These are their hats, so it's going out to, let's see, where is it going out to? I don't even know. Looks like Darren in Georgia. So Darren in Georgia getting him a Browning white. I think this is actually, yeah, it's Real Tree brand. So that's kind of why Real Tree branded stuff actually sells a little bit better than just a standard camo, it seems like. So not too bad. Like I said, $2.50 on that one into $29.99. Going out to Darren. Let's see if I can find Darren here. Awesome. So far the labels are tracking up. How's everybody's weekend? For those of you that are in here, looks like we got 2 viewers watching. Appreciate you guys sticking around. How did your weekend go? What did you all end up doing? Did you work? Did you relax? And for those of you that are watching after the fact that aren't live with us here, leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you did. Always a good time on the weekends. Do you take your weekends off? That's actually a question a lot of people get asked. Do you take the weekend off? Awesome. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate it. Everything sounds good. I'm hoping the volume is up because I know sometimes when you do the live, it sounds great. And then when you rewatch it, the volume gets cut. I know Facebook's bad for that. YouTube isn't normally with streaming, but I know the gentleman that normally can't watch this till later let me know. So if they're watching right now, definitely leave me a comment and let me know. But I was able to get the microphone boosted, so we should be good on that. But yeah, do you guys take your weekends off? I do. And when I say I do, most of the time I'm still doing something here and there. It's not like I just absolutely ignore my selling channels. But I do like to check on stuff. I might, if I got some spare time, I'll do a little bit of, packaging or whatever comes up. I'm never hardly not working. And actually this weekend, even though I was out of town, I was actually doing some sourcing while I was out of town, had a little bit of time, and we did some sourcing. So I feel like I'm always working, but I do like to kind of dedicate the weekends to just more of the family time and, not really stressing about it if I can. If we did something during the week, then I might focus a little bit harder, but that's just me. Not everybody does that. Next thing we got going out here are some Nike jock straps. These are a 3-pack, and we sold them for $39.99. I don't know right off the top of my head what we bought these for, but I think we were paying $12, maybe $15. for these I actually purchased a long time ago, and this size just now sold. I don't know why. The other one sold out probably 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and I've had these forever on an Amazon listing, and they finally sold. So we actually sold both pairs. So I guess maybe the price finally got up there. That's what I talk about when I talk about Amazon. You know, you have to be willing to kind of wait for that price. This is a perfect example of that. I had to wait, you know, probably a year since I bought them, but they did sell, and I'm okay with that. Not everybody is, but I actually forgot about them, so I'll take the sale at the price that $39.99. $40 is actually retail. So when you can buy stuff on clearance and turn around and flip it for full retail, that's the best, in my opinion. I will take those sales any day. If you can sell something again for retail, that's crazy. And there are some categories that you can do that in. Underwear, especially Nike branded, Under Armour branded, those major brands, you can get some really good deals on them and turn around and sell them for full price, especially on Amazon. Once everybody sells out of them, because that listing is still hot. We talk about hot listings on eBay, and you actually get the same thing on Amazon as far as you have a listing that sells a ton of product. Well, when they go out of stock and they don't make it anymore, whatever, that listing is still going to be one of the top search results, even though it's not carried anymore by Amazon or whatnot. And so they still promote that. It's a high ranking listing, so it'll keep going. So when they sell out, you can still sell what you if you have it still, you can sell it a lot of times for full retail. And that's what happens with these, is they might go out of stock. They might even go out of stock for just a day or two from Amazon, and you'll sell out of your inventory at that same price because it is a hot item, or a top selling or a top ranked item. Next up, we've got some Adidas shorts. So we're gonna go ahead and start digging into the sourcing and where I source and what my pros and cons are, I guess you should say. Looks like we lagged out a minute here. Sorry, guys. Are we back? Hopefully. Oh, I hope that didn't just do that. Okay. Are we back? I hope we're back. I'm sorry, guys. Let me know if we're lagging in the chat. The chat should be live, but it is looking like we're having some lagging issues, which is not good. Not what I wanted to start off with. Give me a second here. Let me see what we got going on. Okay, are we good? Can you all hear me, see me? Everything okay? Streamlight's lighting up. Hopefully this goes away. Sorry, guys. We are using a new software for the streaming instead of just the standard one, and I think it's giving me some fits. So let me see here if we are back. It looks like we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go ahead and dig into it here. If this gets too bad, we might have to restart the stream. Hope not, but we'll see what happens. So yes, we did. We're going to dig into the sources that I use and kind of what I source from there and what I like about it and what I dislike about that particular place. So this is a Kohl's clearance event item that actually was in my Kohl's clearance video. I have a link in the description if you're interested in checking that out if you haven't seen it already. This is something that we bought a bunch of these and they did not sell. So this actually just sold. This is the first one I've sold of these, like, I don't know what you call them, terry sweat shorts, I guess you could say. And they sold for $27.99. I think we paid $10.80 for these. So it's a double up pretty easily. Wow, my audio is maxing out. It's a double up pretty easily, and hopefully they'll continue to sell, but they have taken a minute, and I think it was due to some of the tankers, people buying the stuff and not exactly not wanting to wait until the price went back up. So hopefully, and that just went down too much there. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties like crazy today. But we did finally get them, and hopefully they'll continue to sell. It's kind of the end of the season for these, so I'm hoping that we get a few more sales of these before next year. And maybe next year they will take off. They are retail $40. Sold them, like I said, for $28, and we paid $10 from the Kohl's clearance event. Now, Kohl's clearance event, you'll notice I do a lot of sourcing from those. It's actually one of my favorite ones, just because you can go in and you're going to find something. Very rarely can you go into a Kohl's clearance event and not find something. You may not find a ton of stuff like you want to, but very rarely can you not find anything. So I enjoy sourcing from those. they are something that isn't an all the time availability, so you have to do it when it happens. You know, they're not, obviously you can't, there's very little to source even on a regular clearance, their regular clearance area. I'm not going to say you can't find stuff, but I very rarely find anything unless it's those hidden clearance events when they go an extra 50% off. I source a lot from them because I can get name brands. I can get Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, all those big names pretty regularly in those events, and they sell quick. That's one of the nicest thing about it. When we get into the shoes, I'll talk about that a little bit more too. But it just sells quick, and you don't have to sit there and try to, I guess, force it to sell. Eventually you're not going to have a problem with it. So that's why I like to source those events, and it's one of my quickest returns on my money is the stuff that I buy from there, unless you buy stuff like this. This was a trial thing that I did, and I probably won't do it too much unless I just need inventory, but I probably won't, I'm not going to focus so much on clothing this year. That's kind of been one of my adjustments I want to make, because they are just a little bit slower selling, and I feel like I can invest my money in, I have the opportunity to get a lot more inventory that I can invest in that might move a little quicker. There's nothing wrong with slow moving inventory, but when you have an abundance of inventory that you know is going to sell fast, you want to invest in that rather than holding on to a bunch of long-term inventory. Again, nothing wrong with long-term inventory, and one of those long-term inventory things that I really focus on are hats. That's not, you know, you can focus on clothing, you can focus on whatever you want to, but I just choose to focus on something a little bit different than clothing. Or starting to. Like I said, you'll still see me buying it and stuff. I just want to try to be smarter with my investments coming up, because I don't have a lot of space and it just starts taking up a bunch. And to be honest with you, let's see. We got this one going out to Rick. This is just another one of those Real Tree hats. Again, can't from my hat source. 250 into 30 on that, and that is actually the last one that I have, sadly. So they'll sell pretty quick on Amazon if the listing is there. If the listing's not there, then tough luck, but if you can find it with the listing, it's pretty decent. Let me find this label real quick, guys, here, so I don't lose track of where I'm going. Of course, it is a top one. So I have my labels on the wall, as you guys can sort of see, but my problem that I'm running into is a way to hold them up there. I did order some clips that just didn't come in time to hopefully help for that, but I actually take and peel and stick it on the wall, and every time I use the top label I have to redo it, so bear with me as we struggle here. All right. But the Kohl's event, like I said, you can always, that's one of my favorites to source from, because you can always find good stuff. Very rarely do I not go in there and find something. I may not find as much as I want to, but like this last event, I literally found so much I couldn't fit it. So it's always a good event, and like I said, it tends to sell fast. Now, the only bad thing with Kohl's events is you don't get to source them all the time. So you do have to hit them when they are on sale, whereas some of the other options that we have that we'll talk about today are not the case. I would love to tell you where I bought these from, but I have literally bought, I think I bought 10 or 15 of these shirts, these Under Armour. I think I paid $5 for them, $5-6, and they are selling for 20, but they have taken forever to sell. This is one of those things, again, it's an Amazon hold. I am selling it on Amazon. I don't recommend selling clothes on Amazon. The only reason I'm selling these is because I have so many of them. And clothing is one of those things, if you expect the return, then it's not as bad, but I haven't had any returns with the Under Armour shirts. The women's sizes tend to be really close, and I haven't had any, knock on wood, yet on these shirts. So that is why I'm still selling them over there, just to try to move them. I've still got, I think, 5 or 6 of them. But this is one of those examples. These got tanked so bad, so it might have been a Kohl's clearance event. They got tanked so bad, and they are not fast movers. I sell 1 or 2 a week, maybe. So when everybody bought them, they tanked the price down to like $12, I think, at one point. And I just held on to them and didn't adjust it. And it's taken a year, but they are finally selling, and I should be sold out of them here in a week or two at that higher price. Not really the smartest way to do it. It probably would have been a little bit better to liquidate them out, but it's one of those things. They don't take up that much space in the room right now, and so I don't mind using them as kind of a, you know, just something that'll sell later on. But I don't plan on buying any more of them, let's put it that way, just because I don't want to tie up the money. You better start knocking on wood. I know. As soon as I say that, I know better than to do that, but I do it anyways. No, clothing is one of those things. I know it is a high return thing. One thing I found is like Nike and Adidas, a lot of their sizing is pretty good, so that's why I even mess with it on Amazon. Um, Again, I don't recommend it. I just know certain things that I've had that I have sold, I've not had any issues with yet. So the sizing is pretty true to fashion. So you're not going to have, for instance, the Lightning McQueen Crocs were sized way small. So if they bought a 6, it fit like a 5. And so it was a major return issue because of the way it was made. These are made pretty good, so you don't have to worry about that on certain brands. Certain brands and certain styles. I'm not saying that for everything, but these particular ones were. And some of the other clothing I sell, I've sold before, so I just kind of know. Um, and I don't mind it as long as my return comes back new. As long as it's still new, has the tags in the bag or whatever, I don't mind the return on it too much, because it's only a couple bucks for the return shipping. But again, that's not always the case. Shoes are worse than clothing. Oh yeah, shoes are terrible. I've got to quit doing shoes. You'll see I sold some slides again. Basically, I'm not listing new inventory on there of like shoes or anything, unless it's just a crazy high amount they're getting over there versus eBay. Then I'll take the risk. But otherwise, I'm not putting anything new. I'm kind of just letting whatever I have sell out on that, and then focusing on a couple of key categories for Amazon. But we did sell these Nike Keepa slides here, or sandals, I guess you could call them. These are actually really nice quality and stuff. They're not bad at all. These, I think, were a men's shoe, size 8, so it's a little bit smaller size. Slides are starting to take off already, so if you have them and you don't have them listed, number one, you should never have stuff not listed. Not saying you shouldn't have a death pile, but honestly, if you have these and they're not listed yet, get them up, get slides up right away. It is that time of the year to sell those, so they are already starting to fly. It's heating up. Finally got that first hit of spring, so to speak, and yeah, definitely worth getting up because they are going to start moving. I'm going to hopefully move all of mine, and I don't plan on buying too many more this season because I don't want to move them. They take up some space, especially when you get them in the box, which is nice. I love buying them in the box, but they do take up some space. So I'm not going to be buying any more just because I'm trying to get ready for this move here in about 6 to 8 months, hopefully, depending on how things go. So got to get ready. That's going to be a whole nother topic and something you guys are probably going to love to hang around and see because it's going to be interesting. moving an inventory. I'll have a number then. I think right now I've got somewhere over $300,000 in retail inventory, is what like eBay says. And yeah, moving all that is going to be a crazy time. Crazy time for sure. So, but all in good. Should make some good content and hopefully do it. How are you guys as far as videos? Would you like to see some more videos versus lives? Like I said, I do want to try to keep doing these lives once a week. I feel like that's a good number for me and for you all. And they tend to be long, so I know that can vary some too. This one's going to be another long one just because of how many orders we got going out. But let me know what you guys think. I've got some video ideas. It's just videos take a lot longer to record and edit. So that's kind of why I've held off on them. But if it's something everybody wants to see, or you've got some topics you'd like to see me do a video on, please let me know. Like I said, I'm not an expert on it, but if there's something that's not been covered by somebody else that you want to see some information on, I'd gladly do it. I'm not here to repeat other people's content. If someone's got a good video on it, I'm going to tell you where that video is. I'm not going to go make it myself just because I don't feel like it's necessary. It's not that it's not worth my time, but it's not something I want to do. I don't want to go out and copy everybody's content just to get views. I'm here to actually provide some sort of knowledge and some sort of info that you may not be able to get everywhere else, and entertainment, which is what most of these videos I think are more than knowledge. Under Armour boxer briefs, 2-pack. We sell these all the time. If you've watched any of the previous ones, these are extra large, sold them for $30, paid I believe $11 for them. My prices, guys, do include tax. Most of the time when I tell you what I pay for something, that includes tax and anything else that I have for that item. So that's why sometimes my numbers are a little weird, just because, you know, how it goes. I swear we just did this one. Did I not print? Now I'm hoping I put oh, there it is. Okay. I knew I just seen this. label. Don't want to send the wrong item to the wrong person. I need like to find a plank or something in here. Maybe I'll use the wall. It's wood somewhat. But I haven't sent anything to the wrong customer in a while, knock on wood, even with doing these live. So I've been super happy about that. I feel like that would be a common occurrence. Oops, see, like that one I didn't scan the tracking number on. But so far it's not been too bad, so thankful for that. All right, next up, let's see if we can get something that I haven't sourced from a Kohl's event. So unfortunately not. The next item on our shipping list is from the Kohl's event. You've seen these as well. These are those green, purple, pink slides that we got from Adidas here. These are actually really nice, really good quality slides, and they sell really well for retail or more. These ones retail are $39.99 on these. We got $29 for them, but we only paid, I believe, $13. So I know these sell. I've sold them for months now. Anytime I see them, I pick them up, and most of the time I'm out of them by the time I get more. So if you ever come across these, even if they are the $13, $14, it's a quick sale. And again, no major returns, knock on wood, on these for sizing or anything like that. I think I've only had one pair return, and that was because they bought the wrong size, which can happen. Well, I guess that would be sizing, I don't know. But we did get these, like I said, from the Kohl's event. Like I said, I buy a lot of my inventory from Kohl's, and a lot of my fast moving stuff does come from the Kohl's clearance event. So if you haven't checked out my video, I'm not going to promote myself constantly, but definitely would recommend go checking that out. If you're new, it is in the link in the description. We got a lot of links in the description if you guys have checked that out recently. I'm trying to provide some stuff, so people have asked for some links to some of the products I use, whether that is shelving or boxes or anything like that. So if you ever wonder, you can check that. If the link is not there, let me know. I'll gladly share where I get my stuff, and I'll tell you my honest opinion of it. It's one of those things. I buy a lot of stuff for myself, I guess you could say, or for the business that I really enjoy using, and then I buy some stuff that sits there and I never use it. So always willing to share my thoughts on that. Got some sticker residue on these ones from the size sticker that they use, and there's not one to come off. So we're going to use Goo Gone wipes. I should put a link for these for sure. This is one of my all-time favorite things that every reseller should have. Every reseller's heard of Goo Gone, but very few know that they actually make these wipes. They're not super easy to find. They do sell them on Amazon, Home Depot, Office Depot, I think is the other one. But they work amazing for just wiping marks off of shoes, wiping off Sharpie or anything like that on a smooth surface. Absolutely love these things. I use them all the time. I will put a link. It's not in there right now, but I will put a link to some of those if you guys are interested. I highly recommend it. It's better than spraying like a microfiber or a towel or a paper towel. That's the word I'm looking for with Goo Gone. It tends to work even better than that, and it's less mess. It's not running everywhere and getting on everything. So highly recommend that. We did sell these size 10s, like I said, for $29.99, and they are going out to Esther in Bedford, Texas. I swear there's a Bedford in almost every state. I feel like there's always a Bedford. But we got that going out to her. But yeah, as far as the links go, guys, I always have a bunch of them down there. You might notice a new one down there for bread and butter. If that is something you're interested in, I recommend messaging me first, because it's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be beneficial for everybody. It's a $40 a month subscription or $39 a month subscription to a Discord group, but it is one of the best things that I've done for my reselling business. It's helped me learn a lot of different sourcing opportunities and stuff like that. It's actually why I source a lot of what you see now from being in the group. Super helpful over there. We've got a lot of staff and just everybody helps each other out. There's a lot of entertainment as well. So if you have not signed up, if you're not already signed up, which most of you watching probably are, but if you haven't signed up, shoot me a message and let me know if you're interested or if you have questions about it, and then you can sign up with the link below. And they have been kind enough to work with me on an affiliate with that. So I appreciate Bread and Butter doing that for me, but like I said, it's not something that I'm just going to push and try to get everybody to sign up for. I don't think it's for everybody, but it can be super helpful for a lot of people. And if it's, you know, something that we can offer, then and I, you know, I would recommend it for sure if that is your business model and stuff like that. So definitely let me know. Like I said, feel free to always send me a comment or check out my Instagram page. You can always send me a DM over there. Instagram handle is the same, Delco Resells, but it is all one word. There's a link in the description as well. If you haven't given that a follow, I'm going to promote and plug myself. I know everybody does it and it gets rather annoying, but you guys won't know about it if I don't say anything about it. So I'm going to tell you about it. But seriously, if you are interested, check out the Instagram page. I've been posting on there every day or two, a couple of days, just giving you some more behind the scenes. I might not post the most interesting stuff, but I do try to keep you up to date also on the lives and stuff. Like today, we would have loved to have done this earlier, like normal, but just some stuff came up, and I make sure to try to post over there as well to kind of give you guys a heads up. You'll also see behind the scenes stuff that, of the day to day, literally the day to day, what I'm doing that day, what's going on, interesting, funny things, whatever it is. So definitely give that a follow if you don't mind over on Instagram. The link is in the description of this video. Next thing we got going on are these Merle. I'm going to get crucified for that name too, because I just butchered it. Merle, I've always referred to them as Merles. Merles. These are women's like slides. They're kind of like a croc material, really kind of interesting. I picked these up from Marshall's last year, beginning of spring, and picked them up for $12.99. We sold them for $30. Not if the greatest come up, but these were selling so fast for me when I bought them. I literally bought all they had. It was like 15 pair and sold out of them in like 2 days. And then they just tanked. I don't know what happened. People just quit buying them. I don't know if Amazon messed with the listing or something. It disappeared. The sales completely disappeared. These are the first ones I've sold in well over 8 months, I think. Maybe even a year. It might have been a year since I got them. So I don't know. They're back though, selling for $30. Hoping to just get rid of what I have left of them because I don't really want to hold on to them anymore if they're going to be that sketchy. But we did sell 2 pair of those, and we've got quite a few more pair to go on this one. I hope I have this label actually, now that I think about it, because I think I'm running out on these. These came from Marshall's, so that's another thing. Oh, I didn't really. Sorry, brother. Delco Goat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I'm definitely not the goat, but I appreciate the compliment. Marshall's is one of those places I do recommend sourcing, mostly for their clearance events. They have their yellow tag clearance event. That is great. That was not one of them. This is actually just a regular everyday price that they have on these. But if you're not familiar with Marshall's, it's TJ Maxx, same brand, same everything. It's a discount store. You're going to find stuff that manufacturers are no longer carrying most generally in there, or just overstock, whatever you can find. But they, of course, are brand new. It's not a liquidation place per se. They are great for sourcing. Marshall's, Ross, Burlington, and we're going to cover some of those once we get to some of the other ones. But Marshall's, for instance, is one of those ones that tends to be a lot higher. It also varies from store to store on what they offer. So the one around me doesn't really, they tend to stick with more higher end brands. When I say higher end, I mean, we're not talking, Armani or anything, but they tend to stick with a little bit higher price brands, and their discounts aren't as much. You can't go into that store a lot of times and buy stuff and turn around and sell it like you can from some other places. You have to really pay attention and comp a lot more. It's not my favorite store, definitely not my favorite discount store to shop, but you can find good deals in there, and sometimes you can find stuff that not everybody else is carrying, and that's one of those things. So for instance, these were a regular item. This was their regular price that you could go in and buy as many of they have. They only get so many of them. They're not going to restock most of the time, and you can go to other stores to find more of them, but that particular store won't get more. They get shipments in one at a time. So not the greatest place to source all the time, but it is a good source if you're just trying to find stuff. You can go and comp, and they have a lot of different clothing, shoes, toys, electronics, to some extent electronics. I've never really found too much on the electronic side of it, but household goods, all that type of stuff, you can still find good stuff. Now they have their yellow tag clearance event, and I don't think I have anything from it this time, but that event goes on, and that's like the Kohl's event. You can find a lot of good stuff in those events, but it just takes a little bit more looking. Now, when it comes to Ross and some of those other ones, which we'll talk about once I get to them, those ones are a little bit better because they mostly have a little bit better pricing for stuff that you can actually make money on. But you just have to watch out. Those are still stores that get a lot of, say, particularly these ones. Obviously, if I'm buying 15 to 20 of these from a store, every single store is going to have that. So you do have to worry a little bit about them tanking prices. But at the same time, this is not something that everybody can go buy online. So most of the time, you might be able to get a little bit better return on them that way. I don't think I have the label for those ones, so we're going to skip them and move over to eBay for the eBay sales for the day. And we're going to jump right into them. Thank you guys. For those of you watching, appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. Leave us a comment. Where do you like to source? What's your favorite sourcing opportunity that you have? You don't have to share all the details of it, but is it online? Is it, you know, a retail location? Is it a secret source? What do you have? Let me know in the comments, in the chat if you're live now, or in the comments if you're watching after. Love to hear from you guys and see what you guys like to source. Hats, my favorite thing to source. You know, it's my favorite thing to source. What's up, Recon? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it, man. Recon knows hats are my favorite thing to source. We've talked about it a few times on Bread and Butter as well. Recon's a member over there. Yeah, they're my favorite thing to source. Unfortunately, I can't tell you where I got these. This is a bulk buy that I did. I've done 2 of them now from a source that I have, and actually hoping to talk to them here shortly and maybe get into another one. So we'll see what happens. But this was a bulk buy. We paid $10 to $12 for these, and this particular one sold for $45. This is actually really cool. Phoenix Suns, the Valley, really unique hat, fitted 7 3/8. Always a good size to find, and it's going out to Doug in Seattle. Gotta make sure, yeah, you paid more than what my tag says. So I actually sold this for more than what retail was on it. I do that a lot with hats, and you can do it with a lot more than just hats. Don't be afraid to list higher than retail, especially if you're the only one that has it. So a little tip there. Going out, who did I just say? Doug. Let's see if I can find these labels here. Got a wall of them, and hopefully I can find Doug pretty quick here. There he is, Seattle, Washington. Got a Phoenix fan in Seattle. It's impressive. All right. Guys, is the video stuttering or anything like that on me? Let me know, please, if you can. I know some of you guys put this on and you're watching in the background and you maybe not be able to comment or whatnot. But if you do happen to see it and don't mind, let me know if it's stuttering, if I'm freezing, if the sound is out of sync. I've got a lot of new stuff going on right now, so I want to make sure we're working it as best we can. All right, we got add tracking to this one. That hat source, I'm going to be doing a video or a live, not sure which one yet, on bulk buying. It's one of my favorite ways to buy, but it is not for the faint of heart, and it is not for the newbie. It's something that you want to make sure you're established well enough, because you end up spending a lot of money. But they are probably my absolute favorite deals to get. There's still that adrenaline of finding something in a store. Like I went into Burlington on my weekend off here, actually out in Arizona, just for the fun of it. Had a few minutes and went in there and found a couple of pairs of cleats. And there's still that adrenaline when you find that one item, but when you can go in and buy a bunch of one item or a bunch of one particular kind of item and know you're going to make money, that is a whole nother adrenaline rush. And we plan on talking about that and trying to kind of give my opinion on how to get into some of those, because everybody wants that ability to get a lot better deals when you buy in bulk. But it is not easy, and there's not a simple straight answer on it. You can't just say, here's where you go, here's what you say to them. Slightly stuttering. That's what I'm afraid of, guys. Hopefully we'll just roll with it here. I don't really have much of an option, sorry. So hopefully it doesn't make it too hard to watch, but I'm seeing it as I'm saying this. I'm watching it on the replay, so we'll have to look into it. Hopefully it can get a little bit better set up for next stream. So we're gonna roll with it for now. There's not anything I can do about it. Audio's fine, just the video. Okay. Yeah, I think what it is, I'm actually using my phone, but it's streaming through a software, and it's probably my Wi-Fi that is killing it. So we need to find a direct route, and maybe I'll be able to do that. Fortunately, I can't fix anything on it right now, so sorry. We'll have to run with it as it is for now, but definitely fix it next time. But yeah, I want to do that video to kind of talk about ways to get into bulk buys. Again, there's no way to just go in and, you know, say, hey, this is where you go, this is what you say. But there are some different areas that you can start to look in, and what has been successful for me, and, you know, hopefully share some light on that. But that's for another video. And reason I bring that up though is for the bulk buys. Like I said, a lot of these hats I get in those bulk buys I can't really talk about, but we'll be talking about some of that in a later video. These are a Ross pickup, so from Ross for $19.99. We only sold these for $39.99. Not a great pickup on these, but more than likely I got this with the drawstring bag. So most of the time, if you ever see these in your discount stores, check to make sure they have the spikes in the tool, which is this piece here. They're emotionally in the toe, shoved into the shoe, or attached with like zip ties or something like that. But they also come with that drawstring bag. You guys have seen me sell several of those. I'm actually out of them now, but that probably came with this. So technically, we sold them for about $60, not the $40, since we did separate those out. But we paid $20. Ross is probably my favorite discount store if I'm just looking for inventory. It's a tie between Ross and Burlington. But Ross is great. You can find a lot of good stuff in there already that you don't have to get a discount or a clearance price on. They already price it pretty low. So it is nice when I do find stuff in there. And I do kind of end up there more often than some of the others. I have a couple of them real close to me versus Burlington. I have to actually drive a little ways. So it's one of those things that, you know, it's a convenience factor. But like I said, you do find a lot of good product in there that you can make decent money on. They're going to carry the same type of stuff as far as Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, all those major brands for sporting goods, or sportswear and stuff like that. Shoes. I found, you know, Ralph Lauren. What are some of the other names that we found in there? Really good stuff that you can find. Not everything's going to be great, but there is a lot of good product in there and a lot of good inventory to find. And you don't have to wait for a clearance sale to find it. So you can go in every single day. They restock every single day. They get new stuff in almost every single day. So it's very easy to find inventory, something there. I very rarely leave without finding something in the categories that I look at. And that's not to say it's every single category, but, you know, especially some of the major ones. The only downfall would be that it's only going to be one ofs. You very rarely find more than one of one item. You might find a couple, if it's shoes, you might find a couple different sizes, but you're never going to find, you know, I don't even have an example. They have hats and stuff. I get there a lot, and I actually have a couple in here. But again, you're only going to find one. You're not going to find, you know, several of them. So unless you've got a giant store, then you might find ones or twos, but not a great source if you're trying to buy a bunch of inventory, because you do have to find one-offs, and listing takes a little bit longer as well. Doing that, but still a great opportunity. And like I said, I've sourced a lot from them in the past, and still do quite a bit because they're easy to find stuff in. Like I said, they're busy places a lot of times, so that is always a key factor too. You go in there and wait in line forever. A lot of people in there if you go into some of the bigger stores and in bigger cities, but you never know what you're going to find. I mean, you can find, I think some of my best sales from there, I found some like Nike hoodies one time that were some special edition. Sold them for like $150 and paid like $20. So you can find really good inventory. It's probably one of my top sourcing opportunities that I do all the time. I'll go in at any day. You can go in and find something. You don't have to wait for a sale. Next up, we do have this LA hat that we did buy from a bulk deal. This is the 5/8. I actually am sold out of these, sadly. These sold super fast in all my sizes, which is not always the case. Hat sizes is one of those things that you do have popular sizes that sell better. Basically anything from 1/4 to 5/8, I would say, is a good selling. 3/8 being my most popular sale. But I don't skip out on the other sizes. They just take a little bit longer to sell. Doesn't mean you have to drop the price. It just means that, you know, there's not as many people that have really small heads or really big heads, so they don't sell as fast. But still, I sold, like I said, I sold that particular hat, every single style, for $45. We paid $13. Not a bad come up on those. Let's see, Jake in Loma Linda, California. Keep finding all kinds of interesting names out there today on stuff we're sending out. All right, next up we have Oops, I did it again, guys. I didn't scan the label. Let's do that. Guarantee I missed my pickup today, so these will all be going out tomorrow. And hopefully the postal service is ready for them. I keep telling them if I don't have them Monday, then the Tuesday day is going to be big, but Monday is always going to be the biggest. And so hopefully they get the idea and don't send the guy in the car. I don't know if I talked about it. I don't think I did. I posted on Instagram last week. I told you guys about having the stack of stuff, and we actually had a stack of this high of shoes. And uh, they sent the guy. I talked to him, bragged about how they were sending out, their commercial pickup, and lo and behold, they literally sent the guy out in a Corolla. It's like a compact. I don't know if it was a Corolla. It was like something like my car. They sent them out to do pickups. He had already picked up from one package place, and he's like cramming them in the back seat. I felt so bad. I went out and talked to him. I was like, man, I said, I apologize. I said, normally they send the big truck. He's like, yeah, that's all they had right now. So I felt so bad for him, but he was cool with it, and hopefully they don't do that again. Hopefully when they come tomorrow, they have a bigger free space in their vehicle. Last summer found a 450 MSRP Oregon Ducks Nike team issued jacket for 25 bucks, got 250. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Ross. You never know what you're going to find in those stores. Not everything's great, but they price everything similar. So most of their hoodies will be $25 to $40. Most of their shoes are going to be 20, like cleats and stuff are 20 to 30. Their main shoes are going to be 40 to 60. There's some variation, but most of the time it's priced all the same if it's a particular category. So you might find some Nike Airs that aren't worth anything, but then there might be another a pair of Nike Airs that are worth 250 bucks, and they'll be priced the same for both pairs. So you can find some good deals in there. They get them off of bulk deals. They're buying thousands of them from Nike, or Nike's liquidating to them, however they do it. But you can find some really good stuff, and you just have to look for it. Like I said, it's my go-to. If I just want to go sourcing and I don't know of an event or something that's going on, I'll hit them every single time, because I always find something. You can always walk out of there with something, even if it's just a hat. I find a lot of $7.99. I don't think I have any right this second, but like $7.99, 47 brand, or even New Eras and stuff, curve bills, and flat bills will be like 10, 12 bucks. So you can always find something good in there. It's a great sourcing opportunity if you don't mind ones and twos of items. So this is an interesting item. This is actually an item that I purchased from a bin store, and it's broken. I knew it was broken, but I actually have sold this exact vacuum before. This is a Cobalt 24 volt max shop vac, portable shop vac. And for some reason they still sell them, but they sell out super fast, and they don't make very many of them, and they sell super fast online. So if you ever come across them, especially at like bin stores and stuff like that, check them out. This one, like I said, the latch is broken. I've sold these for 150 bucks before. And this one I only sold for 65 just because the latch was broken on it, and I didn't think anybody would really want it. Somebody wants it, obviously, for parts. And yeah, so basically if you lift it, you can't lift it with the handle. You have to actually lift it from beneath because the latch is broken. But yeah, we sold this. Like I said, even though it was broken, I bought it from the bin store like that for $8, $15, and we sold it for 65. So shipping's gonna be a little bit of a pain, and I'm gonna do that off camera, but you never know what you can sell. Just because it's broken doesn't always mean it's trash. Also, if your store gets Walmart, excuse me, if they get Lowe's and Home Depot loads, if they put those in their bins, a lot of times they'll have like a $30 day and stuff like that. You can go in and find, everybody leaves the really beat up broken nail guns that are Boss Stitch is a really good brand. There's a couple others out there too, but they'll leave them. They're beat to pieces. They obviously aren't going to work. You can still buy those even at 20 bucks, sell them for like $50, $60 for parts, and people buy them all day long. I've sold so many of them, and your general buyer that's going into the bin store isn't going to want to buy them, obviously, because they look like they're destroyed, but there's still value in it. Something to always keep a lookout for on the bin stores. We'll talk about the bin stores here in just a minute as well. But before we do that, let's talk about these. Now, if you watched 2 videos ago, we talked about the Academy Sports sale, and this is probably my new favorite sale, even above the Kohl's sale. This sale was incredible, and I got in on the last day of it, or second to the last day of it. So These were Chubbies. I'd purchased these before from a bin store. I don't know if I've shared that story, but we'll talk about it. Purchased it from the bin store before, so I recognized the name right away. Knew I could sell these for easy $40 to $50. I sold a whole bunch, probably 250, 300 pair of them last year through the summer. So when I seen these for $10, I grabbed every single pair I could get. Sold these literally a day after listing them for $50. And we're going to leave the tag on it since it does say $59.97, so they're going to still think they got a good deal. We only paid $10 for these, which is an absolute steal, and I so excited when I found them. The story for the Chubbies, there's actually my local bin store at the time was purchasing Kohl's liquidation. Kohl's liquidation is good, but most of Kohl's liquidation is damaged stuff. So this is stuff that's gotten returned and has some sort of damage. It can be a minor mark, it can be a cut, can be defective, whatever. There's all kinds of different reasons. But they got the sale in. What happened with that one, though, is the particular load they got was actually a store that didn't open. Or either it didn't open or didn't open in time, and they didn't want to just have the inventory. So they sent out literally a whole store's worth of Chubby's swim shorts. I didn't even know what they were at the time. I went in the bin store. It was like a $5 a day, and they had them everywhere. And so I grabbed one or two, looked up comps, and it was like $40. I was like, that can't be right. So I'm looking at a couple more comps, and all of them were comping at like $40, $50. I was in there with my parents at the time, and I told them, I said, hey, don't make a big deal out of it, but I want every single one of these pairs of shorts. So we started loading them up. I actually take that back. I think it was $8 a day originally. So we found them. I literally loaded up. I think I ended up with 300 pair of those Chubby shorts. I talked to the owner, made a deal with him to get them at the next day's price at $5 instead of the $8, and it was crazy. I listed them the same weekend, and I was already selling 2 to 5 a day, literally for like through the summer. I ended up with, I think, 5 or 10 pair left is all I have that I'm carrying over till this next summer, and I'm guaranteed they'll start selling here within probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. So huge bolo for those. And like I said, you're not going to find them in a bin store. The only reason I knew what they were is because they actually had all the different sizes. So like they had, small through 2 extra large in every single colorway. And it was a fantastic deal. But when I seen those in the Academy sale, I could not pass it up. I knew we were going to make some money on them. And sure enough, we've already sold a pair, and it's still barely into springtime. So hopefully we can move through those pretty quick. But yeah, it's just a super hot brand. If you guys ever see Chubbies, definitely check it out. The sports Academy Sports sale was an awesome sale. They do continuing discounts. Yeah, Recon every single. Like I said, I will never pass it up. I will pay $20 to $30 for these almost. Definitely $20 for them anytime I find them, because they sell so good, and everybody wants them. Like, I don't know, it's not my thing, but everyone wants them. They've always got some crazy prints and stuff like that. The Academy sale, though, was a crazy event that we caught very late. Me and Recon, I know Recon cleaned up on it as well. Like I said, second to last day, and they had everything marked down to $5 and $10, pretty much an additional 75% off of their clearance prices. Now, as you can see, those shirts had a $60 price tag on them as their clearance price. It's not a clearance price. That should be retail price. I don't think they cost more than that retail. But they do that that evolving discount. So they start at 25%, 30, 50, 75, whatever it goes to. So it's something that you're not, as soon as the event happens, you're not going to necessarily be able to go buy everything like the Kohl's events do. But once it gets down to that higher discount, it's definitely worth it. And I'm going to be shopping the daylights out of them from now on. This is some Zoom Metcons. These are an interesting shoe, and it's something that I actually bought probably 8 months ago. No, this has almost been a year ago. This is one of the first purchases actually from a call out in Bread and Butter. I've talked about that before. I'm selling fitteds from the Academy sale over MSRP already. Yes, fitteds all day long. You can sell fitteds. You can sell 3930s. You can sell all of them over retail if nobody else has them. And even if everybody else has them, you can still get more than retail. That's why everybody's driving me crazy with their hat posts sometimes of what I'm seeing people sell hats for. Like, these are some quality hats. People will pay for hats. Absolute quality hats. You can get major money for them. You just have to wait for the sale to happen. It's not going to be overnight, but even on some of them, you will get overnight. Like I said, some of these, forest greens I've been selling for weeks now, 2 or 3, a week. They sell. It just, you can't. You never know what you'll be able to get out of them, but a lot of times you can get more than retail out of them. But like I said, these Nike Recon or Metcons were a call out from Bread and Butter. Like I said, over a year ago, or right at a year ago. One of the very first buys that I bought. Not gonna lie, these are the first ones I've sold. I had my price too high, and I probably still do. But we sold it for $93, and they are going internationally, so that's probably why they sold, not as easily accessible. These are a great call out, though. I think we paid $25 if I remember correctly for these. I think it was $25. I don't remember who called them out, but it was from a Nordstrom rack. No, I don't remember where the call out was, the actual place that we purchased them for, but they were a decent call out. And like I said, if I wouldn't have had my pricing so wrong, and I haven't reviewed them in a while, I probably could have sold more of them, but we'll definitely start getting those out here soon. $93 what we sold those for, and we paid $25. If you're interested in call outs like that, like I said, Bread and Butter is a great opportunity, because some of those that we get, obviously that's not a great example because I took so long to sell it, but there's some great call outs over there. But even these ones, obviously we can hold them for a little while. It's going to be a good return. 25 into 93 is an awesome rate of return for a purchase or an order. Let's see what we got next here. Don't like when it does that. For some reason, when I scan my labels, it doesn't find them, or it doesn't say USPS automatically. So first box of shoes going out for the week, and we actually sold, I think, 9 pairs this weekend. So getting rid of those shoes. I'm happy to get rid of some of the shoes. It's going to free up a lot of space. There is rumors of an upcoming clearance event that I can't give away all the secrets for, but we talked about it in Bread and Butter. And it's coming up here probably in the next few weeks. So I'm trying to make some room. I'm not adjusting prices. It's just nice that they're selling, because I can then add some more to my inventory. Next up, we've got a Funko Pop. So this is actually from my personal collection. So I don't really even remember where I got these. This was a summer exclusive, and just decided I'm not going to keep as many of these. There's no reason to keep them if you're not into them that much. So we are selling some of my personal inventory, and that's one of these items here. But it sold for $14, which is probably what I paid for it originally, if I'm being honest. Most of the conventions, I think, are $15. Oops, I guess I should put it in a box first. But yeah, I feel like I got distracted, guys. It's been crazy this morning trying to get all this set up, and now for it not to be working smoothly is bothering me. So I keep thinking about that instead of what I'm talking about. So you guys got to keep me on track here on what I was talking. I know I mentioned, like I said, the Academy clearance event. The bad thing about the Academy clearance event is that you don't know when it's going to happen per se. I mean, you can know a little bit ahead of time, but it's not happening all the time. So again, it's one of those sourcing opportunities that you have to take advantage of when you have it. That is why it's key, guys, when you're first starting you want to invest all your money back into inventory, but make sure what you're buying is good. That way, when you have a really good sale come up, that you aren't already out of your money, so to speak, and you never want to go above what you have in the bank. So I highly recommend, I don't like saying, put a bunch of money in savings necessarily. I invest all my money back into my business above what I take out for a salary. So it's hard for me, but definitely make sure what you're buying is worth buying. Don't buy everything that is going to make you $5. If you have to spend $15, it's not worth it. Make sure you have good inventory, because when sales like the Kohl's clearance event and stuff like that come along, you want to make sure you have money and the capital to go in and make those bigger purchases and make that better amount. Recon, also, I'm working on some crazy pallet wholesale bulk deals with a big retailer. Awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, there's money to be made in every aspect of liquidation. It's risky. I've done it. I've done a lot of different throughout the years, whether it's Amazon or whether it's other sources I can't name that I'm still currently working. There's a lot of opportunity out there. it's something that you want to do your research on and learn. But there are so many ways to find inventory and make money out there that you don't have to sacrifice and only, you don't have to buy everything. Like I said, it's one of the things that I did from the very beginning. Anything I seen, oh, I can make $5 on that, or I can make $10 on that, but I might be spending 10, 15 for it. Unless it's something I know will sell within a week, I'm not going to buy that item. I want to make more of a return on my money. That way I don't have to work as hard. The more money you make on an item, the less you have to work for that money, so to speak, if that makes sense. And so it's definitely something I warn everybody. I think somebody the other day even asked me what my advice would be to like a new seller. And that was one of my biggest things is, it's so easy to find when you're having a hard time finding inventory. It's so easy to just buy anything you can make money on. But you will get used to it, and you will come into plays where you have a lot of opportunity to purchase a lot more. And if you've just been buying anything and everything that you can find, then you won't have the capital to purchase those better deals and make the easier and better money. This is a 96 pack of coffee Keurig. This is the Green Mountain or something like that. 96 Keurig K-Cups. This particular one is in date, I believe. Just double check. Yes, so this is in date until August, and that's why it's sold. Sold this one actually for $59.99, and we paid $9 for it. So super happy about that. This is a bin store purchase, and Keurig coffees and stuff like that. Not everything is worth it, but you can make really good money on it. And technically, you're not supposed to sell it as it's expired. But I'm not gonna lie and say that it doesn't happen, and people will pay for it. Even after it's expired, people don't mind buying the expired coffee. Now, when I say expired, it is a best buy date. It is not an expiration date. There are two differences there. You get a little bit more leeway with the best buy date. And it's definitely not illegal to sell. It's just whether or not eBay wants to remove your listing or not. Lots of sports apparel and hats. I'm gonna have to talk to you later, Rico. No. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Like I said, bulk deals are where it's at, obviously. I just wish I could get into a few more of them, but I can't right at the moment just because of the pending move. So it's one of those things. But yeah, that's awesome, and that's the way to do it. Get that bulk stuff out there. So got this coffee going out, like I said, $9 into 60. Another bin store find. Bin stores. Let's talk about bin stores. I keep mentioning it, but I'm not actually talking about anything per se about them. As far as a sourcing opportunity, bin stores are great for cheap inventory. If you're going on their opening day, a lot of times they'll have a price that's going to be set to, their starting price will be $10, $15, $8, whatever. You may not be able to find a ton of stuff on those days, but you might find a lot. But there's a lot of good opportunity in bin stores. Bin stores are liquidation stores. So basically anything that gets liquidated from Amazon, Walmart, Target, any of that, you can buy that by the truckload. And that's what these stores do. They buy full pallets of returns and discounted or discontinued items and overstock or whatever it is, damaged product, anything like that. And they put that in the bins. You go in and search through it, and whatever the price is that day is what you pay. They're a great opportunity. I did it for a year. That's how I actually started this business from the ground up as far as going into full time. That's what I did for a year, over a year and a half, was just bin store purchases. It's a great way to start. And it's something you can even continue to do. If you really enjoy it, it's not that bad. My biggest thing with it is you do have to search through the stuff. The time and to invest into it isn't terrible, and you can find a lot of good deals. But you have to make sure they're not defective. You got to make sure there's all the parts there for a lot of stuff. People fraudulently return stuff all the time. So you might find a brand new sealed iPad box, and there's a good chance that iPad's not in there. Not to say it can't be. There's plenty of iPads been found in bin stores and stuff like that. But people are good at it on doing those returns, and you have to be real careful that you don't get taken on it. But it's nice because the price is most generally going to only be a few dollars on whatever the amount is. So it's definitely worth it, and it's a huge opportunity, especially getting started. I'd recommend it to anybody as going through it. You just have to be really careful. Yeah, hit me up because it might be if I figure by when I'm done with it. Yeah, for sure, man. I'll shoot you a message. but yeah, it's one of those things that I recommend it, but you just have to be careful. It's a great thing. It's on par with thrift stores and garage sales, in my opinion. It will cost a little bit more than those for most things, but I recommend doing it if you have them available because you can lead into better opportunities. Before I can forget what I'm doing here, this is one of those bin store purchases. This is a Amazon return, LPN sticker on the back there. That's an Amazon return. As you can see, it's been opened and the site itself is loose. But I checked everything. It's all good. It's brand new. There's no damage to the site. It still works and everything. It still glows, all that good stuff. And we sold it for $29.99. We paid $9 for it. Sold it to Akron, Ohio. So we're going to stick it in here, but I am going to put a little piece of tape on it just in case to keep it from falling out of the envelope. But like, for instance, this, obviously that's, you know, $9 into 30 is a great opportunity. And, you know, it's a good return on investment, but it is something that was not brand new. I had to, you know, check it and make sure everything was good on it. And sometimes it's not the case. So you can get burnt. You do get buy stuff that you get home and realize, oh man, I can't even use that. So you just have to keep that in mind with the bin stores. But the bad part about bin stores is, like I said, again, obviously you have to check everything. But you also have to be real careful about getting knockoff items. Anything that Amazon deems they can't sell, they send out to liquidation. Even if it's knockoff, counterfeit stuff, they send it out to liquidation. Pit vipers. Somebody had a huge thing with pit vipers that they had knockoffs. And for months, I found them in the bin stores. And I'm talking different bin stores. Every single bin store ended up with them. It was a huge counterfeit thing that got sent in, and Amazon found it. They sent it all to their liquidation centers. And so you have to be really careful you don't get stuck with those, because obviously you get in trouble for selling them. eBay will get you in trouble. Amazon will get you in trouble. So you have to be a little bit more vigilant about what you buy there. But it's a great opportunity, and it's one that I still enjoy doing. Even in my downtime, if I'm bored or have a little bit of spare time, I'll go to hit up the bin store because you never know what you can find. Those coffees are great. My local bin store used to get them a lot, and I would buy them by the pallet. Literally, I've got some bulk deals I haven't talked to you guys about. I'll share. I'm going to share them with you, but I want to wait a little bit. Tease you, no, for a better opportunity. But I've gotten some crazy bulk deals, buying, you know, full pallets of Keurig coffees and stuff like that from bin stores, and getting them for way cheaper than you would have even just buying them straight out, because it helps the bin store out and stuff like that. We'll talk about that in bulk buys because that's kind of plays into my video, and I don't want to give too much away, but definitely opportunities at bin stores for sure. It just depends on your store. Some stores are great, some stores aren't, and you kind of have to pick through and find the good ones and try to get in with them to get some of those better deals. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Got a little thirsty here. Next up, we actually sold some more shampoo. This is another big bin store purchase, bulk bin store purchase. I purchased an entire pallet of this. This is a VO5. This is a discontinued item. So basically, VO5 doesn't make this anymore, and they don't sell it anymore, at least in the dry scalp, particularly this particular brand, or I almost said flavor. That is not what I mean. Scent, that's what I'm talking about, or this particular style, the dry scalp. They don't make it anymore. It's still listed on Amazon. I still sell it on Amazon, but I actually sell it on eBay every now and then by the case, because why not? So this is one of those items that, like I said, is just not carried anymore. So they liquidated it all out of the Amazon store. And I can tell you it sells slow over there. I've barely sold through half of the pallet in the past year. So I don't know how much Amazon ended up with, but it ended up in my bin store. I helped my buddy that ran the store out by taking the whole pallet, obviously cheaper than what he was trying to sell it for, but I got it out of his way. And now it's in my way. I literally have it in my warehouse, and it's in my way constantly. But it does sell and it does move. We paid 50 cents a bottle, so we sold 6 bottles. Here it's $3, and we sold the 6 bottles for $36.99, so $37. So 3 into 37 is a pretty good return. I just take it out and tape these caps closed, because in shipping they can come open, and buyers don't like that. And we are going to actually ship it in another box too, because I have had a few boxes that I had in my pallet that broke, or the bottles broke inside and leaked everywhere. So we'll try to avoid that. But this is just another one of those examples. Like I said, you never know what you're going to find in there. I love getting the bulk deals from the bin stores because I could go in and tell them, hey, I'll buy all the Gas X that we sold, and we'll be packaging up here in just a second, or all of this or all of that, and they'll sell it to me for a lot cheaper price, just to get it out of their way. And you can do that. You can do that at some bin stores, others you may not. You're never going to have a dry scalp. You know, it's crazy. I deal with it all the time too, but I haven't tried using this. But yeah, I have a lifetime supply of shampoo and conditioner. I wish the conditioner would sell. That's the one that I've got a ton of still. But yeah. Oh, before I do this though, I do want to. The bin store was selling these for $5 a case, and like I said, I bought all of them from him for $3 a case. And I actually got a little bit better deal than that at the end of it, just because he threw in what some of the other ones he didn't find. But I am going to peel that off. I don't want them to see that necessarily when they get the case and see. People don't like it when they find out how much you paid for it. They're fine if they don't know, but if they find out they don't like it, it's like clearance tags, as Adam says in his videos. We're going to ship this in this box, just add a little bit more protection, but we are going to cut it down here. You guys cut your boxes down. I hate doing it, but it saves on packing, and I don't want to have to use a bunch of packing in it. It's already boxed, so it's probably pretty good, but it's one of those things. I'm not super picky when I do these either. Just slap it down and send it out. But yeah, like I said, bin stores, guys, I do recommend. I do highly recommend them. Especially if you're starting out, you can get a lot of cheap inventory that'll sell. You get a lot of different categories, so you get to kind of learn what other categories are selling. And that was something for me. I found out, there's good money in coffee. I never would have thought of that with coffee. There's good money in other things. My mind's going blank now, but car parts. We sold actually quite a few car parts this weekend from bin store purchases. You have to be careful. Got to make sure they're all there. They're not used, because a lot of people like to return their used car parts to Amazon or whatnot. But there's some good money in there, and you can find some brand new stuff for a decent price. Let's go ahead and get this label printed out for clearance in North Carolina. There we go. It's a P.O. box. What are your guys' favorite places to source? What's your go-to? What do you like about it, don't like about it? Let me know. I enjoy talking, but I do rather talk with you guys than talk to myself like I tend to do a lot. Oh, man. Let's see what we got shipping out next that we can talk about. I have a whole list of stores that I go to, but I haven't really been able to talk to about a whole bunch of them. Another bin store purchase. This is actually a random item. When you go to bin stores, you're going to find a lot of brown boxes. You never know what's going to be in it. This is, I believe, it's not a hearing aid, but it's a necklace that you wear that has an earpiece, and it amplifies whatever is in your area. So it's kind of like a hearing aid, I guess you could say, but not necessarily a medical grade one. We picked this one up for $8-9 and actually sold it for $8 to $9, somewhere in there, and sold it for $60. It took a while to sell, but definitely a nice solid pickup. Like I said, scan those items and come across it, and I think it was actually like $80 on Amazon if I remember correctly. So decided to go ahead and give it a shot for $8, and like I said, we sold it for $60. So we will take that sale for sure. Hopefully it all works. It actually looks like it's brand new. Everything's in there according to the manual, and it was all still sealed in baggies and stuff. Like it looked like it was factory, so shouldn't be any issue. But like I said, bin stores, I've sold stuff that looks brand new, sealed, and come to find out, somebody was really good at what they do and sealed up an old something or another and sent it back, and then the buyer got it. Buyer was not happy. They thought I was trying to scam them, but that wasn't the case. It was just the fact that that's how people work. I see a lot of people that think that's okay, and they think, oh, Amazon, you can't hurt Amazon. But in my opinion, it's not right. just because Amazon takes the loss on that doesn't mean you're not going to hurt somebody else down the road. You know, not saying, you know, somebody's going to buy it in a bin store or whatever, but it's not right. You wouldn't want people, especially as business owners, and I think a lot of people need to realize that as a business owner. If you wouldn't want somebody to do it to your business, why should you do it to anybody else? Yeah, they're big corporations, all that stuff, you know, whatever you want to say about that, but it's not right. And I would not recommend it. You would definitely not want somebody to return something to you that had been used and everything else. So why do it to anybody else? That's just how it goes. Nike clearance stores, not the Nike outlet stores. I went to 2 this weekend and had to leave before I went to debt. There was so much profit. Really? So a Nike clearance, I didn't realize there was a difference. I mean, it makes sense. Nike clearance versus a Nike outlet. I have Nike outlets here, but yeah, it's not there's profit there, but you had to look through a bunch to find it. It wasn't like, you know, real simple, real simple and easy. But I'll have to check it out. Maybe I have one around me. That's a good idea. I love selling Nike. I love selling name brands. So I would probably be the same way. Have to leave before. That's how me and hats are. I go into a hat store and has clearance. I buy everything almost that I feel is profitable. And yeah, I sometimes get in trouble for sure because I just can't pass up a deal. Next up, we sold this. This is a personal item that I have had. No, this is a bin store item. I did find this in the bins. It was brand new. Again, it's sealed and everything, like it should be brand new, but you never know. This is a tile, I forget what they call it, tile styles. They basically, it's an air tag. It is exactly what it was, except for they came out a lot sooner than air tags did. We sold that for $19.99. I did pay $8 or $9 for it, and I do hope it works. I don't know how old it is, and that's the only thing. These don't have a removable battery. I actually used to use these when I had my Android or my Samsung phone. And they're nice. You can stick them in your wallet, stick them to your keys, whatever, and they help you be able to find them if you lose them. But hopefully, like I said, I don't know how old it is. It still is new sealed, so it should be fine. But those do run on a built-in battery, so it kind of depends on what the life of that is. I'm running out of packing material, if you guys can't tell. So hopefully we can do this. But we did sell that, like I said, for $19.99. This is a bunch of stuff that was in my death pile that I just needed to get out. So we finally got around to doing that. And so there's a bunch of randomness that I've had just laying around. Is Paradog in here? I don't know if Paradog is in here or not. He never talks to me. No. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think he's in here, though. Paragraph. How's it going, Hayden? Oh, goodness. Trying to keep track of everything and check the status of the stream, make sure it's not froze on me. It's froze on me twice, so hopefully we can keep going here. But yeah, I keep finding these bin store purchases that I had that I just never listed, so finally got around to getting those out there, and they are selling, so I'm really happy about that. But they are taking it's that cheap stuff. I used to go through anything under $30, I'd throw it in another bin and then never do it. Oh, I don't know who Aiden is. Recon, outlet stores make Nike apparel just for those stores. Outlet stores make Nike apparel just for those stores, and they're usually more expensive than clearance stores. Yeah, I've noticed like, a lot of people talk about, finding good deals, and I think it's when they have their additional discounts and stuff, but I've not had much luck with them. The outlet stores. So I'm gonna have to. Are they called clearance stores? Like when you look them up on like Google or whatever, are they Nike clearance versus Nike outlet, or is it just something a little bit different? Next up, we got a Burlington purchase. We haven't talked about Burlington yet. That's crazy. Burlington is one of my favorites. Probably is my favorite of the discount stores, so to speak. We paid $7.99 for this one. And sold it for $29.99. And this is just a Arizona Diamondbacks, kind of I think it's a women's. Yeah, it's a women's 920 hat adjustable. So, I'll have to check that out, Recon, about the clearance one. That's a good tip. Like I said, I've never paid attention to them, and I've only gone to the one here real close to me recently. So, I'll have to check that out. But we did sell that for sold it for $30 and paid $8 from Burlington. Burlington is awesome, but it goes through dry spells just like Ross does. They'll go through times when you'll find a whole bunch of inventory. It's one of my favorite places to find cleats, and that's what's going on right now. So we're actually planning on doing a sourcing trip to the big city here this week, and we're gonna hit a bunch of Burlingtons and try to clean up on some cleats because I'm pretty much out. I don't have very many left in my inventory, and it is cleat season right now. Might be a little bit late to the party on it, but they'll be good for next year too. But we're going to do that. But that's probably my favorite. But you can find all kinds of stuff in there. I find a lot of clothing as far as Nike branded stuff, shirts and hoodies and pants. We were finding baseball pants there for a while for like $5. Lots of good stuff in there. If you're into in-store bolos and stuff like that, and you want to kind of have an idea of what to look for, we call a lot of them out in Bread and Butter. I know me personally, when I'm going, I haven't been going recently, but when I'm going, I always try to call them out because a lot of times you can find the same item in a different store, and it's helpful for other people in the group. But like the cleats and stuff like that, I know Banger was in there not too long ago calling out a ton of cleats he found in there. And it just gives you an idea. Not that you're going to find that exact shoe when you go into the store, but when you go in there, you've got an idea of what to look for, and it's already something that, you know, people have comped and you can kind of see. Obviously, you want to comp every item that you purchase. You don't want to base it off of anybody else's comps, but it gives you an idea of some stuff to look for, and then you'll start noticing all kinds of stuff. So if you're into that, for sure, like I said, Bread and Butter is an awesome opportunity for that as well. Because like I said, we do call those out, as well as online leads and so on. Those are my favorites, but definitely helpful in that. Next up, we've got these New Balance. I got to make sure I grab the right size. I've looked at the size 3 times, but make sure don't. These are from the most recent Kohl's clearance event. Oops, sorry, I missed your comment there, Scotty. Love the content. Just curious why you ship Priority versus Ground Advantage. So the reason I ship Priority versus Ground Advantage is due to my corporate shipping account that I have access to. I can actually ship through Priority Mail for about the same price for most items, not everything. But that advantage for me is that obviously I can offer a little bit faster shipping to my customer, but it also allows me to use the Priority Mail boxes. So saves me some money on that side of it. If it's $8 for Priority Mail, or I'm sorry, for Ground Advantage, and it's, $10, $12 for Priority Mail, most of the time I can get that Priority Mail price for the same as what it would cost me ground. So, I still end up spending about the same. For the most part, there's some stuff that comes up cheaper, but it allows me to use the free boxes, which is huge because I don't want to have to buy a different box for every single item. They've got a really good system set up too, if I can find the box I'm looking for. They've got a really good system to set up. It seems like every box they offer fits, I would say 75-80% of what I have. So shoe boxes are the only thing I really buy a lot of now, just because I don't like to have to mess with it. But yeah, it just makes it easier. But that is why I ship Priority versus Ground. So I have a slight advantage with that. But like I said, it actually just makes it easier for me more than necessarily being a huge discount. Yes, these New Balance, I've sold these several times. You guys have seen these already. Sold these for $60 and we paid, I think, 21, something like that for them. These are almost gone. I've literally sold every single pair of them, and this is less than a month ago. I think, right? The Kohl's clearance event was less than a month ago, which is crazy that we've already sold these. I did not expect these to sell. I know all the same color ones work. Makes total sense. Thank you. No problem, Scott. I appreciate the question. If you got any more, let me know. I was not expecting these to sell. I know the all white, all gray, those colors because of work shoes. These have sold just as fast as those do. And I wish I would have bought more. I did leave some behind because I was running out of room. And I figured this was the one I should leave behind. And now I've sold these way more than my Converse even, which are normally my good sellers of Converse. So, but glad I got them, and hopefully the clearance ones will still be available when the next sale comes up, but we'll see. Like I said, we did sell those for $60 from $20, so we will take that. Good sale. But yeah, I'm out of them. I think I've got one more pair in the wide, and then I have a couple pair of the standards. Oh, I ran out of tape. But we did run out of, I think I am out of the, what's it called? Can't even think now. I am out of the wides for sure. Give me 1 second. Got to grab a new tape roll here. If you're curious, I use Amazon Basics tape. Not that you're probably curious, but I took forever to find tape that I actually liked. This stuff seems to work really well on most items or most boxes. The only one that I actually do have problems with is these shoe boxes. It doesn't like to stick to them, but it sticks to itself well. So I just make sure to overlap. But it works really well, and it's probably some of the cheapest you can buy, although it keeps going up in price, which is just absolutely crazy. I did take your shoe storage idea in the shoe rack for hats. Freed up a ton of space. Awesome. It helped me a ton. And I've got another, hopefully it'll be a video. If it's not a video, we'll show it in a live. I've been doing some rearranging on some of the tote system that I have set up, and I'm actually having to make my own racks, and I wish so bad there was just a rack to buy like I did for everything else. It makes it so much easier. But yeah, that tote system works great for me. Like I said, it does take some more space, which is something that I'm kind of regretting now. But if you have the space for it, it makes it so nice to be able to grab it. We've got a couple more shoes that we sold that are going to be super easy as well because of that system. So glad to be able to share it and let other people be able to help them out, because that's what we're here for. What's up, Adam? Thanks for joining. Millennial Profit. Yo, sorry, I'm just now catching the live. Had a busy day of packing and was in the zone. Hey, no problems, man. No problems at all. The reason I'm so late is because I was not in the zone. That's what's taken me forever today. It's been a Monday, but yeah, we went on small vacation just out of town for the weekend, and when I do that, it is so hard to get back into it. And this morning I was trying out the new software for the stream and stuff. Fortunately, it's still lagging, it looks like. Trying to get all that going, and it was just not working. So that's why we're still on here, still late doing it. It's like, what, 3 o'clock, 3:30? Whew. Too late for me to be doing this, but we're going to get it done. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it a lot. If you could hit that like button if you're around, I'd appreciate that. That helps out. We've been doing pretty good, getting almost 100 views on all the lives after the fact. So I really appreciate everybody that watches these afterwards too. I would love if everybody who watches these afterwards could leave me a comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Leave me some advice on that aspect, because I know the lives are cool. We can hang out, we can talk, we can chat, whatever. But I want to make sure this content is still relevant if you're going to rewatch it and it not be live. So if you could leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think on that, I would greatly appreciate it. Obviously, if you're still watching, we've been going for a little while now, so thank you for that. But definitely want to keep the content based on stuff that you guys want to watch. Obviously, if you don't watch, it's no fun for me. So I want to make sure we do that. Oh, wrong hat. We sold this Charlotte Hornets hat. This is a $9.50 snapback, so we've got about, I think, $9 in these, $10 in these, something like that. Sold that one for $44.99, and I am out of them now, and that is more than retail. Retail price was $49 or $40.99. So definitely, again, getting $5, $4, $5 more than retail for a hat. It can be done, especially on a good hat. Yes, I joined Bread and Butter, and it has definitely helped my business. Watching Adam's videos and yours and the call-outs there have been a game changer. Heck yeah, that's awesome, man. Adam has some of the best content if you are doing retail and online arbitrage, in my opinion. And it's not because he's in here, and that's not because he promotes me on this channel. That is why I joined Bread and Butter, because I wanted to see kind of what they were doing. I liked his style and stuff like that. He posts his videos are always to the point and on point, not a whole lot of extras, and he's honest, and that's not the case for a lot of YouTubers. So I'll give mad props to Millennial Profit, and he's actually one of the reasons I don't do a whole lot of videos now versus content for videos, is because he's covered it all. He covers all the content ideas, and so why would I go and repeat his stuff? No. But yeah, definitely check him out if you haven't. He has some awesome stuff up there. Let's see, this is going to Winona, Mr. Robert. But yeah, Bread and Butter, like I said, that helped me. That's what got me into the retail arbitrage more than just bin stores. I would have probably been still doing a lot more bin stores if I hadn't have joined. But seeing his videos and joining the group gives you so many more ideas on sourcing opportunities. And it's not going to be for everybody. I mean, again, not a lot of people like used. Crystal, if you're in here, she's a cousin, one of my cousins. She does reselling and does used clothing. She loves that. That's her area. And so buying brand new product and spending a lot more money on the product is not something that's, appealing to her. So it's not going to be, an opportunity for her necessarily in bread and butter because we don't cover that. So it's not for everybody. But with me joining, it opened my eyes to so many other opportunities and stuff that I enjoy selling. I would have never sold hats probably if I hadn't have been in the group and started and gotten some good deals on that. That's when it took off for me, and now it's my favorite thing to sell. So it opens up a lot of different areas if you're not into this, and if you're into this, then it just gives you more areas to source from. Paradog told me that you don't have to lie. You bash me when I'm not in here. Yeah, I'm always bashing Adam. Oh no, but yeah, it's like I said, it's not for everybody, but it's definitely there. And if you guys are interested, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer questions and help you get signed up if it's something that you feel like is going to be advantageous for you. Adam got me hooked on hats. I had only a tiny bin of hats. Now I have 5 Costco bins full. Yeah, I can't say I started seeing Adam source them, so it kind of got piqued my interest, and but what happened is when I walked into a bulk buy, brick tats, yeah, brick tats. I walked into a bulk buy. Literally, when I say walked into, I literally walked into it. Had no intention of buying anything that day. Walked in to an opportunity and seen them. And the guys over in Bread and Butter know what I'm talking about with it. And that was one of my first big buys. And that opened up all kinds of doors into being able to buy, my big buy, my latest buy from a source on hats was like 30 grand. So it's, I would have never even seen that, never had it, had I not been interested in hats. And I wasn't interested in hats until that point. As far as reselling, I hadn't even thought of it. I guess I shouldn't say I wasn't interested. I've always liked hats, but wasn't something I would have even thought to look at and could make money on. He got me hooked on hats too, around 300. That's awesome. As long as you aren't tanking, I think Adam would agree with that. As long as you're not tanking the hats, we don't mind. That's for sure. But you start tanking them, we're gonna find you. No. This is an interesting sale. This is a bin store purchase. I bought, I want to say 20 or 30 of these in a bag. These are Olaf rubber duckies. And actually, the bag had several different princesses, Cinderella, Superman, a couple others. But these are literally just rubber duckies that have costumes on. And this one in particular is Olaf. The tag on them says $1. And we paid, I think, 15 cents a piece for them after we paid $8 for like the bag. I don't remember exactly how many bags or how many were in the bag, but it was every bit of 30 or more. So we have, pennies into these. And I'm actually selling these, believe it or not, for $12.99 a piece. Somebody bought 3 of these for $38.97, which is absolutely crazy. I know they use it for Jeeps. They call it ducking. They'll go and duck somebody and leave a rubber ducky on a Jeep or whatever. That's a huge thing, and that's why they sell. And literally $13 a piece. So rate of return is crazy on those. And I'm almost out. I think I'm actually out of Olaf. I might have 1 or 2 left. So Olaf is done, but I'll hopefully sell some of the others here soon. Don't tank like some members. No tanking here. Me and Tank Police will find you. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a group in there. And believe it or not, eBay's a small market. You can't get away with it too easy. That's one of the rules. Obviously, for those of you that aren't familiar, tanking, if that's a weird phrase to use, tanking is just if something is selling at $30, it's got a history of selling at $30, and you go in and list yours at $20. That's what we consider tanking the price. If it's selling at $30, why would you not list it at $30 and make that money? When you tank, and not only do you can think, hey, it's just me, once mine sells, it'll go back up. But that's the problem that we run into with reselling is as soon as you list it at that price, the next person that lists is going to list at that price, and they're going to list at the lowest or lower than. So the price just comes down a lot and drastically, and you lose money. And there's no need for it. People are willing to pay the $30 for it. They've been selling for $30, no problem. You're just cutting yourself out of profit and cutting everybody else out of profit. And so that's what we talk about tanking. In the group, that's one of the things if we call out a lead, we don't want to find you selling it for $20, $30 less than what it was already selling for, unless the market has actually dropped that way. That's kind of what tanking is for those of you that aren't familiar. Sorry guys, my throat's messing with me here. I've been talking too long without drinking. We got those rubber duckies going out, like I said, and that was from a bin store purchase. Never know what you find in bin stores. I always look at the multi-packs. That's just another random tip. If you're searching through bin stores, look for the packages that have a bunch of items in it. A lot of times the one item itself might not be worth it for $8, but for instance, those rubber duckies, obviously I wouldn't spend $8 on one of those, but with a bag of 30 of them, it's definitely worth it. So always check out those multi-quantity packs. That's where I found a lot of money in the bin store purchases. Next up, we got another pair of those New Balance grays, same exact shoes. Just going out, same price, $60 from 30 or from 20. Yeah, $20. So 20 into 60 on these. And sold out of them, or almost sold out of them. It's crazy. Let's see here. I'm not like the red carpet guy. I like carpet. Yeah, red carpet guy. Oof. There's a guy on eBay that purchases shoes and all other stuff too, but mostly shoes from like Ross and Burlington. Well, we think he purchases. He might be stealing. But he always tanks it. He'll list it for $20, $30 less. And just ruins the market on that because the next guy that listed also is going to list for less too. So, but he's well known for it in our community. Really sucks to see it, but you know, at the end of the day, you can't stop people from doing it. But in the group, if we see somebody doing that, or I shouldn't say we, but if we see somebody doing that, we let the owners of the group know. That way they can make sure they're not taking our leads from us beforehand. It is something that I try. I do my best not to post any active leads. So if I'm talking about something that's selling that we can still purchase from there, I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. That's just to, you know, obviously keep the value there for the community, and I don't want to spoil that for those of us that pay, and we don't want everybody having access to it. You know, that's why when you do online arbitrage, there's some tactical arbitrage, which is like a software that you can use to find deals and stuff. People share those lists with thousands of people, and then you know the deal isn't there anymore because you got 1,000 people trying to compete to sell the same item. So we definitely don't want that in the group. But obviously, you know, we're here to help. That's the whole point of it, not to just do it. And I say we. I act like I'm part of it, but not necessarily. I'm not an owner or anything like that. I just feel like I'm part of the community and appreciate those guys for feeling the same way. And that's one of the nice things. It's a community. You know, you got an interesting situation going on with a buyer or something like that. You can post in the group, ask questions, and we've got a lot of experienced sellers in there that can help you out. Got a lot of different sellers in different categories that can help you out. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just a tool. It's just a tool, and you can use it however you need to help you out. Terry from Buford, Georgia, getting those New Balances going out. All right, what do we got next? I need a new sourcing thing to talk about. I feel like I've kind of covered most of them. So let's see what the next item is. Most of these have actually, I think all of this almost today has been in-store, in-person sourcing, which is not the case. I do a lot of online sourcing. So hopefully if I don't see anything here pretty soon, I'm scrolling through my solds. I actually don't see any. This is all from in-store. That's crazy. Okay, so let's talk about some online sourcing while we're doing this, because I do want to cover it. And I don't see any more orders going out from stuff I've sourced online. The next order going out are some Nike. These are those new labels are scaring me again. These are those wide versions. Again, these are 9.5s, men's 9.5 wides of these just classic Nike running shoes. They are selling faster than I ever expected them to, honestly, which is a good thing. Selling for $55. I need to review my order, make sure these aren't low in price, but at the time that was what they were at, and like I said, they are selling rather fast. I do have the hot listing because I had so many, or a hot listing because I had so many of them, so that's probably helping out too. But they are wide, $54.99. We paid $20 I think for these. Yeah, $20 for them, going out in a 9.5. But online sourcing, guys, I can't really. Online sourcing is one of those things. You could source from any retail site, going through their clearance. You could search through different discount pages like Woot and some of those places you can get deals on. There's a lot of opportunities online the biggest thing with online sourcing is just making sure that you're buying stuff that is not going to tank. Obviously, if it's a pretty well-known sale or a pretty well-known site, multiple people are going to have it. Kohl's online clearance event is probably one of the major ones that I look into, but I honestly don't buy a ton from it anymore, just because it does tend to be oversaturated. There's still some good deals in like those Under Armour boxers and stuff are some of the ones that I source from like online deals with the Kohl's clearance event specifically, and they do sell and they work great. But a lot of categories just get tanked a lot faster because everybody has access to them. A lot more people, they can shop from their home to do it. It's not hard to get the inventory that way. So online is awesome when it's available and you can find some good deals. Now, the nice thing about online, though, is you can hunt for them yourself. And when you find ones that aren't posted anywhere or whatever, like you find them themselves, most of the time, not everybody's going to have them access to them. So you can find some really good stuff. It takes time. You have to learn to search through clearance sections or search through different search terms and stuff like that. But it's a viable solution, and it's one that I actually enjoy because a lot of times you can find more of an item. So you can buy 20 or 30 of an item when it's online versus maybe 2 or 3 that you find in store. So there's definitely benefits to it, but the downside would be that you do have to worry about different pricing and or more people having access to it is kind of the biggest downfall to that. But online sourcing, like I said, there's a lot of opportunity. You can do like the Kohl's clearance events. You can source on Amazon. I buy so many items that got clearanced or discounted heavily on Amazon that I will turn around and resell on Amazon or eBay, whichever different place. But you can actually source from both places. You could source from Amazon to sell on eBay, eBay to sell on Amazon, or the same site. You can buy a really good deal on eBay, turn around, list it for a higher price. Somebody tanked it, didn't realize what they had, or something like that, and make money. And I've done that with a lot of different Amazon things. We've gotten some call outs and bread and butter for that as well. Just, you know, stuff that they're clearancing out, Amazon's trying to get rid of it, and you can buy it and turn around and make money on it. One of them, I don't have any right now. I actually sold out of all of them. But one of the things that we had was the New Balance gum shoes, or they're like a gumdrop style or whatever. Not gumdrop. That was the name of the brown color that they were. And we got some of those for like $12 to $15 a pair. And that's a crazy deal for New Balance. Bought them on Amazon, bought out as many sizes as we could, and then turned around and literally listed them back on Amazon and sold them for like 60 or 70. Obviously, I wouldn't do that now because shoes, I'm done selling on there. But, you know, we sold some on eBay, sold some on Amazon, wherever we needed to sell them, and we purchased them right from the same retailer. So there's always opportunities out there for that as well. You just have to hunt and find them, and you may not find something every single time. I didn't show this item, but it is just one of those FM transmitters for your car. If you plug it in your cigarette lighter, and then you can connect your phone to Bluetooth and play through your FM radio if you got like an older car or radio that doesn't have Bluetooth. So that's what we got going out here. That was a bin store purchase. I think I paid $1 for that, and we sold it for $15. That was on a discount, or like their dollar day or 50-cent day. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it was super cheap, whatever it was. All right, next up we got going out hat. This is one, I think I've sold these before, maybe in a different color. This is just a Fox Racing snapback trucker hat, mesh back. This was a bread and butter call out, and we got that for, I think, $10, $12, something like that is what we paid for those. And we're selling those for $30, $29.49. They sell pretty good for me, just on and off, not crazy amounts, but sold out of the black. That's the gray one, and we sold a olive and cream one as well. So we'll package that one up in just a second. Going out to Justin in Bozeman, Montana. Those have been doing really good. That was an online purchase, actually. That was an online lead. I don't remember exactly where. Actually, I think that was a clearance from Fox. I think it was their website, if I remember correctly. But again, just you're not going to find that all the time, but that was somebody found it while doing online arbitrage and shared it with the group, and allowed us to go in and buy up stock and make sure we kept it at a good price. I wish I had more of those. I really do. Those have been selling super, super, super solid for me. Another hat store source I can't give out, but this was from a bulk buy that we did. $13 a piece for these, and we sold this one for $60. This is that, is it Mr. Red, Running Red? I can never remember. Somebody told me last time too. In a 3/8. This is, they're called, I believe it was Clubhouse was the style on these, and we sold it for $60, and it's actually $45.99 retail. So another one of those hats, making more than they were retail on them, just because they aren't available anymore. 7 3/8, like I said, really cool, kind of a flex material, like a sport material more than anything. Really neat hat. But we definitely are happy to see it go out to North Carolina. But like I was saying, that, you know, those hats, you can't go onto Fox's website and find a discount right now, but somebody just happened to come across it and shared it, and you can do that. You can find those type of deals all over the interwebs, and you never know what you're going to find. You just have to know how to comp, basically, and look up items. It might take you a long time before you find something. You might find something in, you know, a couple minutes, but it is a way of sourcing, and it's one that's actually enjoyable if you have the time to do it, and if you don't mind putting in the effort to learning how to do it. Because it is just like in store. It's just like in store. It takes time to learn what you're looking for and how to find it. Speaking of the Fox hats, we did sell that other one, that olive and tan one, or cream. Sold that again, 10 or 12. I don't have it marked down right this second. I bet I can check here. For $29.49. Let's see, we paid 13 for those ones. I gotta remember that. So 13 and 30 for the Fox hats. This one's going out to California, Mr. Joel. Maybe my thing will work here. What other online sourcing opportunities are there? Again, you can do like your eBay. You can actually go into Whatnot and source from Whatnot in some of those places. If you're into some of those categories, people selling stuff doesn't always go for full retail or for what the full market value is. I bought some stuff off Whatnot, thanks to Crystal, from her on her Whatnot sale, and ended up turning around and selling and making a lot of money on it. Just different stuff either people haven't looked up or don't want to take the time to list or look up. Whatnot, a lot of people use it as kind of a, not a liquidation, but they kind of use it to just get rid of whatever they don't want to mess with. And so you can find some good deals when it comes to that also. So you can source from, I mean, anywhere you can buy stuff you can source from, but there's some of them you just have to learn the different ways to source from those different categories. This is another Ross purchase. This is actually a clearance purchase. Paid $6.99 for these bad boys. And we sold them for, I think, $29. So these, for some reason, are tanked heavily, and there was a ton of them out there. So I just priced them at the $29. I honestly think there were some solds when I looked these up originally. They've been listed since last season, excuse me. But when I looked them up, I think they were even like some clear down to 25 or something. One of those items that got tanked really bad. Luckily, I didn't pay hardly anything for them at $7 for clearance. So we were able to do that, but just got 29 bucks out of them just to get them out of here. And now I'm trying to make sure everything's good on them. I noticed this has a knot in it, so I'm hoping I can get this out before I ship it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and hanging in here. Like I said, I know this is a long one and I don't have a huge topic. I was hoping I would be able to move through shipping faster if I didn't have a crazy deep topic. But let me know, do you guys like to see more? I don't want to just you guys to be watching me pack orders. Like I mean, if you're into that, that's fine, and I will do it. But I feel like it might be a little boring, so I've kind of tried to come up with some topics and stuff. If you like that idea, let me know. If you'd rather me just tell you what's going on and kind of give you more of a vlog style, we can do that as well. However you want to do it, however you like, we can kind of try different ideas out. I want to make sure the content is enjoyable for everybody and it's not just boring and you guys, are just sitting there. So if you have ideas or what you want to see, if you like the bigger topic ideas or prefer not to have such long topics or deep topics, because I do know I end up cutting them in half, so to speak, kind of ADHD jumping from one thing to another. it's kind of hard to keep track of. So I'd appreciate any input. I appreciate criticism. I appreciate constructive criticism. Let's put it that way. If you guys have ideas. Obviously, I do know the video's lagging, so we are going to work on that. Hopefully, this next video will not be that way. We'll get a better connection going. But the quality, I hope, is better. And that was the main goal with this. The actual video quality should be a lot better than running it straight through YouTube. So that's why we did this, not just to change it up, but I wanted to get a better quality out there for you guys, so it's hopefully more enjoyable to watch. Let's see, we got a label for Jose. There we go, going out to Ironwood, West Virginia. I forgot to put the label on that box, but these are for those running cleats that we just packaged up. Right, and then we did get the mic boosted, so hopefully that's better quality, and I was able to clip it on this. Hopefully you guys don't hear the background noise as much as far as me hitting it and stuff like that, but we'll see how this video turns out. Next up, this is actually a closed clearance event purchase from this last event, and I'm glad these are selling. I ended up with so many of these because I committed to buying them, and I didn't want to not have certain sizes, so I bought a ton of these. These are just a Converse Chuck Taylor. I think they're called All-Star Madisons or something like that. They're kind of cool. They're like a felt leather, not felt leather upper. I don't know if they're does it say if it's actually leather? Yeah, it does. So they are genuine leather upper on them and stuff. Really neat shoe. I mean, they're a women's shoe, but a really neat shoe. We bought a bunch of these. I think we ended up with like 20 pair of them in different sizes. This is the first one that we've sold, and we paid looks like $20, maybe $21 for these, and we sold them for $55. So not the biggest return, but still not bad. I'm not going to complain about it, but definitely not quite the rate. I like to have a little bit, at least a little more over than double when I sell something. I can't get those laces done. But we'll take it for sure. It's going to work out for us. And like I said, we got a lot of these, so hopefully that'll get that listing a little more hot, and we'll start selling them. If we can sell a couple more, that would be great. I don't know how this is supposed to work, but those did sell, like I said, for $59.53. Not $59.53, $54.99, $59.53 after tax. Nice thing about these Converse is they do slide in the shoe boxes most of the time, the Priority Mail shoe boxes, and they're already going to be over £1. So, have you guys heard the rumors about the Priority Mail, or excuse me, the Ground Advantage shipping boxes? I've watched some videos, some people have talked about it, and supposedly a couple people have actually talked to postal representatives that contacted them, some bigger accounts and stuff, that they are in the works. So that'll be huge. That'll be a huge advantage to shipping. Obviously, postal is kind of the go-to anyway because of UPS and FedEx charging all kinds of adjusted rates. But that is going to be a huge advantage for postal if they actually do offer the free Priority Mail boxes. Or not Priority Mail, excuse me, the free Ground Advantage boxes like they do for Priority Mail. Hopefully they don't go try to do a flat rate again. I wouldn't think they would, but yeah, I've just been hearing some stuff and seeing some stuff about it. Like I said, nothing confirmed, obviously. I don't, you know, I don't have any hidden sources or anything like that, but that would be pretty cool to get the free Ground Advantage boxes hopefully soon. And I've seen lots of rumors around it, so it's not like just, you know, one person here and there. It's been quite a few. So hopefully we can get some info. And actually, in the most recent ads, I get, of course, the post office advertises on like my Hulu and stuff, and they actually in their videos for that, it's not it's animated, or it's, you know, cartoon, whatever their video is for the advertisement, but they actually do show brown boxes with Ground Advantage printed on them as they do with the postal. So basically where it says, like right here in that corner, it was printed on all the different sides. Don't know if that's really just you know, a sneak peek, or if it's just chance that, you know, it matches, but I did see that on the most recent ad. So hopefully that would be an opportunity, and basically would give you guys the opportunity to use those labels just like I kind of do with the priority mail. And it would even be better for me because I can hopefully get some more, and hopefully they'll allow priority mail labels to work on the Ground Advantage, because that would then give me a lot more opportunity. But we'll see. Well, obviously that's in the future, but would be nice to have that advantage. Let's see, these are going to Elvis. Oh, we got Elvis in the building here, purchasing some Nikes from us. This is going to Miami Gardens. Don't see that label, so maybe I missed that one. Let's say Colorado, Oregon, Texas, Florida, Laredo. Oh, it's right there. Very last one that I checked. Going to Elvis. This is just another pair of those Nikes, but these are not the wide version. So I actually got, I think, a little bit more for these. These are the standard versions in a size 8.5 mins for $60. So again, that basic running shoe. But there's another picture floating around too. Is there? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it. I've heard way too much, and like from completely different sources. And like I said, even seeing it in the ad, I noticed it in the ad, and I'm like, okay, there's probably something to this, because I don't think they would go through actually putting it in the ad if it wasn't the case. But that'll be nice. That would be really nice. So hopefully it happens, and hopefully they give us some options, because that's the other thing with it, is some of the sizes. Like I really wish they'd have a nice shoebox. That would make a huge difference to have a nice shoebox, because I'm paying $1, I think, most of the time $1 or so, maybe a little less, for these brown ones that I'm using right now. So to have an opportunity to get free ones would be, you know, every single pair of shoes, you got an extra $1 or so in your pocket. That's huge. And I know a lot of people like to reuse boxes. It's not my thing. I'll do it. I mean, I've got, you know, some, but I don't have the space to just stack them, and I don't like cutting them down either, or collapsing them, because then I can't remember what size they were and stuff. So for me, it's kind of hard to do that, and it's worth the $1 to just have brand new ones. But if we got that opportunity, that'd be cool. I did pay, I think, 21 or 22 for these ones. Some of these, for some reason, they had different prices, and most of the time at the clothes clearance event, you get the price. The lowest price will ring up, even if it's not the right one, or it's not the same price as what's on it. The lower one was most generally the one that's actually correct. They just didn't get it tagged. This particular one, some of these actually ring up the same price. They're like $2 or $3 more, but not super worried about it. But at the same time, you know, it's extra money that we can make off of it if we would have gotten it. But we've got that going out, like I said, 20 into 60, and that is from the cold clearance event. Elvis. Oh, I already scanned that one. Here we go. Right. I'm going to ask the manager at the sorting center I go to. Yeah, good idea. I don't know if they've heard anything yet. It's, you know, can vary. I can ask my the supervisor here too next time I talk to him. He actually does my orders, I think, on Saturday. He does my Saturday pickup. Small town, small post office, they get to work too, but I can ask him next time too, just to see. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Should have done that. What is going on? Can't get this one to scan. There we go. All right. So next up on the going out page here, we've got some more. These are actually from Ross. This was I had a friend of mine pick these up for me. Called me and asked if I wanted them because they were a good deal. $19.99 for these Javelin Elites. I believe these are track shoes. Yeah, because they have the spike slots in the bottom. I don't think I had spikes with these ones. No, I don't. I do hope I listed that in the listing, because I think I might have forgotten. But they didn't come with the spikes or anything. You can still sell these without the spikes. It just emotionally you get about $5-10 less. No spike. Okay, I did put in the description no spikes or tool included. So still sold them for $70. So 20 into 70. Took a minute to sell because they are a small size. I think they're a size. Are they a size? Oh, they are men's size 8. So a little bit smaller size. But like I said, they did sell. It's track season, so Just took them a little bit to sell, and they did sell for $70. So happy with that. It's a good return on those. And that's what I'm talking about. The Ross, you can normally find some really good deals on stuff like that, that they're all going to get lump summed in. So all track spikes most of the time, or track shoes, are going to be 20 bucks. And some of them are only worth a 40, like the ones we had. But then you've got some like these that are 80, 100, you know, whatever the price is. They can vary quite a bit. They're all going to be priced the same in Ross, and you just have to go through and find the good ones, basically. So that was nice to have. Let's see here. We got a different name here. Going to Portland. Actually, I don't think I have the label. I missed the label on these. So we're going to write on this box real quick the name of the person. And I'll have to print the label after we get done here. I did forget a couple of them, so gotta keep that in mind as we go along here. Let's see. We've got, all right, we got about 12 orders left, guys. Thank you for those that are sticking around. Please don't feel like you got to. I know I'm cutting into everybody's evening. It's 4 o'clock here, so that's going 6 o'clock Eastern time. So I know everybody's probably got plans for the evening. I am tired. I am hungry. But we're going to keep at it here just to show you guys what we got going out. That way, if you aren't able to watch it now, you can catch it later if you want. And then for those that watch afterwards, I want a little bit longer video. Here you go. So this is another $5 hat deal that we got. This is from the $5 hat sale that I'm not going to give out, because we do actually still take advantage of that when it happens. So if you want to know information on that, you can join Bread and Butter. But I can't give it out here because it is an active lead. These are just like a Dallas Cowboys official. It's not even a branded. It's not a, well, no, it's Dallas Cowboys authentic. So it's made by some, you know, other brand or whatever, but it's not New Era or anything like that. We picked these up for $5 a piece, and somebody actually bought 2 of these. If I can get this price tag off here. I don't know what the MSRP was on these. It looks like, got to scratch that. It looks like it was $19.99 is the MSRP on these. We sold them for $24.99. So we are going to pull the tag off because the original price was less than what they paid, but they bought 2 of them for $24.99 a piece, and actually got them $23.99 because of a group discount. So sold 2 of those, 5 and 25, and I have a ton of these left. I've got a lot of these. We bought, I think, 30 of them or so. Oh, no, wrong person. Let's delete that. Yeah, we ended up buying a lot of these when we bought them, but I knew they'd sell. They had some comps already, so glad to be able to get them picked up. Sorry, bear with me one moment here while I find the right person here. I've got like 4 orders going out to different Roberts. I want to make sure I get the right label, and I'm not seeing the right label. That's not good. Okay, so we might have to hold off on this one as well till I can get done here and get a better look. But I am not seeing it. Ohio, Washington. No, I'm not seeing it. So I think that one I forgot the label as well. Not doing too hot here, guys. Let's move on to the next order. All right, next order is another boring one, guys. It's the same shoes. Like I said, we sold these. We won't see many more of these, but these are just those blue and gray New Balances from the most recent Kohl's clearance event, 20 into 60. And we'll get that thrown on here and get them out real fast. We almost got retail on these. These are $69.99 retail, not $59 that we're selling them at. Oops, and I missed a box. All right. But yeah, we did sell them for $60, almost full retail for New Balances, and sold them quick. Wide sell, guys. Those wide shoes, that's actually, I'm selling all my wides before I'm selling my others. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing. You can get some quick sellers on wide shoes. That's not to say all of them are going to be that way, but they seem to be doing really well for me, and I always do good selling wide shoes on eBay. This one is going out to Robert as well, but this is a different Robert in Morro Bay. So Robert in Morro Bay here. We do have that one. So we'll slap that label on there. I think I covered all the sourcing places, didn't I? I don't know. Let's check my list. Marshall's, clearance, bin stores, liquidation stores. That's the other thing, guys. Liquidation stores, just because it's a bin store or not a bin store, if it's a liquidation store, you can still find good stuff there too. That a liquidation store is just going to be the same stuff you'd find at bins, maybe bigger items and so on, but it's stuff that gets they have a price on it. So I'll price it 50, 75% off retail, whatever they decide to price it at. You can still find some good deals in there. And a lot of those stores, they make money by the more they sell. So if you go in and offer them a price for a whole bunch of something, they'll most likely make a better deal for you on it. And you can get a lot more product out of that than like a bin store, because they need to move it and get it out of the way. And they don't have as much money in it, obviously, if they're buying it from liquidation. So liquidation stores are still good. I actually enjoy sourcing from them quite a bit when I can, just because I know I have a little more wiggle room and can actually make them offers, and they might actually, you might accept it and get a little bit better deal. This 47 brand Tampa hat, I think we paid $6-7 for these. I don't remember where I got them. It must have been in one of my bulk deals because of the tag, but sold that one for $24.99. Just a simple dad hat, so to speak. But $24.99, $7.25, not too bad going out. And they're super nice, easy ships. That's actually going internationally, so they probably paid a little bit more than that for it. Let's see here. Where is that label at? I know I have that one. Just gotta find it. I seen it when I printed it. There it is. Okay, I'm not losing my mind. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. This is an international. Oh, okay. So there must be a new sorting facility in Laredo. This is going to Laredo, Texas, which I've not known of any eBay international orders going there. And it's got a weird number too, but it flagged on it flagged as an international sale from eBay, like they told me it's an international sale. So interesting. Not sure exactly where it's going, and they won't show me any of the details. But like I said, that's a Laredo, Texas. I don't normally see a Laredo, Texas address for international, so interesting. The things that we find interesting as resellers. Nobody else would find that interesting, probably. All right, next up we've got another one of these LA hats. I think this is my last one here. Again, paid 13, sold it for 45. Make sure I got the right size. 3/8 going. Yep, 3/8 going to Los Angeles. How about any of you guys follow sports? What do you think of the whole deal? Is it? I can't pronounce his name. Is it the guy in LA or that's on the Dodgers team that they're investigating for sports betting? Was it him or was it Yankees? I don't know. I don't know baseball. I just know it's been all over the news right now. With the whole sports betting thing through his like assistant or not assistant. Yeah, whoever he has that works with him, his buddy or something like that. Pretty interesting to see, and going to be interesting to see what they do about it. I seen a post, somebody posted about it. It's like, yeah, how dare people, get into sports betting when they're in sports, and it's like this newscaster saying it from like the DraftKings like studio and the DraftKings network, like all this stuff. Like they really have pushed ever since it's become more legal. They really have pushed the sports betting thing, and then want to kind of have this high and mighty thing about it. I don't know how I feel about some of that stuff, but it's just like, okay, interesting drama, the things of a first world problems, I guess you could say. And we got a whole tote of hats going out today. Whole bag of hats. All right, next up is another bin store purchase. This was my most recent bin store purchase. Got these for $8. And these are basically fuel filter. It's a fuel filter, oil filter, and another fuel filter for, I think it was Ram. Yeah, they're Mopar. So Ram Cummins diesels, the 6.7, I think. It's a kit with all three, basically, what you need to do a change. They were $8. These are genuine. I looked them up and everything, and they have the dates on them and stuff, so they should be genuine. You can get some fake stuff in there every now and then, but most of the time, these are genuine. What happens when you see these SKUs, basically it got listed under the wrong SKU and sent into Amazon FBA. Amazon kicked it back out because it didn't match. That's 95% of the time what the issue is. Like I said, you can end up with fakes, but for the most part, it shouldn't be shouldn't be the case. Perfect. It's going to fit in a shoebox too. But we sold those 3, like I said, paid $9 and sold the kit for $50 on eBay. Not a bad profit on it. They weren't as expensive as I thought they were going to be. They showed up on Amazon for like $80 or $90, and unfortunately, they weren't worth that. Excuse me. I have to grab a drink here, guys. Pardon me for 1 second. All right, hopefully we're back. There we go. All right. Ooh. Get to talking so much, I start losing it. All right, that's going out to Trent here in, let's see, Woodinville. Trent and Woodinville. There we go. Woodville, Washington. Interesting. All right, going out to him. I actually ended up, what was nice about that too, at the bin store, I managed to pick up 4 of those, I think. So quantity of 4 on a listing makes it nice. Quantity listings, if you don't have them already, oh my goodness, it makes it so nice. It takes you 5 minutes to list it, and you can sell 3 or 4 of them. It saves you time and makes it really, really nice to not have to list all 3 items. That's my thing. That's what I want to kind of work on, is getting a lot more quantity stuff. And I do now. Most of the stuff I buy several of them at a time. But it's one of those things that makes it so nice when you can list 1 item and sell 10 of them versus trying to list 10 items to sell 10. Next up, we got some Funko Pops. I'm going off camera here for just a second because I got to grab some protectors. These are not for my personal collection. I actually did buy these to resell, but I bought them a long time ago and on a pre-order from Entertainment Earth. Entertainment Earth is a company you can buy all kinds of collectibles and stuff like that from. But I bought these because they were an old figure that they ran a new production on, and you've probably been able to see them here. This is the yes, can't think. The Grey's Anatomy, that's what I'm looking for. The Grey's Anatomy set, and basically it's a full set, all 4 figures. They reproduced these, or I don't remember if they reproduced them or if they just came out and only did a limited run. But I pre-ordered a whole case of each of these, so I got 8 of each of these, and I'm selling them as a set. I probably paid $12 to $15 a piece, so we probably got $60 in it, and we did sell them for $130. So shoot, I did say that. So photos. I gotta make sure here. This one I just grabbed, I noticed has a slight crease here in the corner. So I might have to grab some. I am gonna have to grab some. So I'm not gonna be able to pack these for you. Sorry. I have to make sure because I didn't state they were damaged. And if you sell Funko Pops, you know you best not sell them or ship them something that's damaged if you didn't state it in the listing. So I will have to ship that here once we get done with the live because I'm gonna have to swap that out. But back to what I was saying, I did purchase those for full retail, and I figured they would be worth money just because it was such a small run. They didn't come out with a bunch of characters for it, and it's a very popular show. So that one is one I bought, and it actually worked out for me. So we're selling it for basically doubling our money on those already, and it'll just keep going up as the time goes. I'll probably raise the price up a little bit now that I've sold one at that. I like to have them. I like to be a little bit higher price than everybody else, so when they sell out, I can get a little bit higher dollar from it. But that's just me keeping it. This is a nostalgic item. If you're into computers or anything like that, I almost hated to sell it. It's so weird, but I almost didn't want to sell this one just because it's so cool. But this is actually a Windows XP full kit here, like you would get if you were building a computer, or it might have come with a computer. I'm not real sure. But I've had this. I don't know how long I've had this, and I don't even remember where I got it. It might have been from one of my first computers, but it has both discs, everything in there, and it actually still has the tear-off. I won't show you guys, but it has the code and everything still, so it should be able to still register it. I did list it as untested and not, not guaranteeing anything, but I am including it in there. It didn't sell for much; only sold for $20, but I had it sitting around the house, and I hate to sell it. I really do hate to sell it, but What am I going to do with it, right? I'm not really going to do anything of importance. I do want to ship that in something sort of protective, and I didn't think about this before I started the video, so maybe I should have done that. Let's see here. This is going to be overkill. Let's not do that. Let's just cut one of these boxes down, and we'll do it that way. So for those of you that haven't, I do use a lot of like stuff like this for, I ship a lot of I haven't been able to show you guys, but in the past I have been able to, I do, and I still have some like photos and stuff like that I'll ship out. And the best thing to do for that, you still want to stick it in like a padded envelope or a poly or something like that, but you want to make sure it's not going to get bent super easy. So what I do is I'll just take a regular box if you have one, especially if you have the free ones. I use these ones pretty regularly for this, and I'll just cut it down. So basically I'll stick it in here, find where the edge is, make sure I'm not going to cut my product, and then I'm just going to trim the box down just like this, and then I'm just going to tape that. So gives it kind of a rigid, something rigid to work with here, and that way it's not going to get bent up too bad compared to just sticking it in an envelope, obviously. So I mean, it's nothing fancy, and with this one, it is going to bubble on me a little bit, so I don't want it sliding out, so I will go ahead and tape the ends of it. But some of them you don't even have to. Just gives it some rigidity without having to cut, like, you know, a really good box or something like that. I'll use boxes that I don't want anymore, or cardboard that I just have laying around, packaging and stuff. Whatever it is to keep it flat. This is, again, not really that big of a deal because it's not that... how should I say it? It's not that fragile because, you know, it's CDs, but I'll do that and then I'll just slide it in. Either a poly or a bubble. I don't think it needs a bubble right now, so we'll just stick it in this one, but we can do that. Just keeps it a little bit more protected, even though that one was pretty much already there. But probably somebody's buying this for a collector's thing. I don't know if anybody still installs Windows XP on computers or not, but probably more of a nostalgic thing, so that's why we're going to do it. Odd things that you never know what you'll find. Like I said, I've had that in my personal stuff for a long time, and I just finally went through it and decided to get rid of it. And we did. $20, $20 just sitting there, and you can always find stuff like that around your house. Have you guys sold anything like that? Like what's something you didn't think was worth anything, and then you sold it? Whether you bought it for resale or not, it could be something else. Like for me, like I said, that was just something around my house. But any interesting stories you want to share and let us know about? Next up, another hat buy. This is a super nice one. I really liked this colorway, so I priced it high, and sure enough, it's still sold. We paid $13, $14 for this one and sold it for $69.99, so $70 out of this one. Retail was $55 on this. It wasn't exclusive, I believe, to a retailer at one point, but it's just a really unique. It's got the Astros like logo, the space logo on the side, or the rover logo, lunar rover, there we go. Really cool hat, really cool color. It's got the tan interior. Not that everybody's into hats like I am, but really nice hat. I actually almost kept one for myself. I'm not an Astros fan, but I almost kept one just because I really liked the colorway and stuff of it, but decided my $70, $80 was worth it. I would rather have that than a hat that I'm probably not going to wear, and isn't even for a team that I like to wear, so getting rid of it. But we do have a few more of those, so hopefully they'll sell. And that was a 5/8, so not my most popular size, but it did sell for $70, so we will take it. Going out to Travis in Lake Jackson. See if I can find Lake Jackson. There he is. All right. Ooh, I keep doing that. Keep scanning it the wrong way. But yeah, I've sold a lot of stuff recently from around my house. Just kind of random stuff. You never know what you're going to find that you bought a long time ago or that somebody gave you. Just don't want to catch you selling it. You can make money off of it. There's very little that doesn't sell, and that's what I'm starting to learn very quickly. But yeah, it's crazy how all that, never know what you're going to make money off of, and that's why I always have a hard time throwing anything away, because I'm always afraid I'm throwing money out the door. Next up on the hat sale, we got this Kansas. Is this the Colorado Rockies? No, not Kansas City. Colorado Rockies. This is a Jackie Robinson side patch edition. I wish so much that I could find some black undervisored hats that I like teams that I would wear and stuff like that. I love a black undervisor hat. They don't make very many of them though. We sold this one for $55, paid $13, and it's going out to Denver, Colorado. Colorado Rockies, not a popular team. I don't sell very many of their hats. Well, I should say that. Maybe they're a popular team, but I don't. Their brand and stuff for like the hats and clothing and stuff doesn't really sell very much. From my experience, but they do sell eventually, and like I said, you can still get the good money out of them. I don't price them any different because of that. I just don't expect them to sell as fast as some of my other ones. And that is going to Robert. Yeah, the top one. All right. Getting down to the final ones here. Thank you all for hanging out and sticking around. Had 4 to 5 years the whole time, which is great. Like I said, I know this is a late stream, and I know it's not probably the most entertaining necessarily with all my topics, but I think appreciate you guys for sticking around and hanging out with us. Let me know if you got questions. Next up, we have these called Sealed Power. These are actually piston rings. This kit was in the box, opened, I grabbed it, and it looks like they have 3 third groove sets, and I don't know that much about cars to know if that's supposed to be. So I listed it and put in the description everything exactly what it came with, took pictures of what it came with just the rings. And it did sell. So for $35, paid $9 for it. Again, I thought it was everything. It had the 4 cases in there, and I couldn't tell for sure if it was supposed to be that or not. So we took a chance on it and still made some money on it, but I wasn't sure. Let's see. Did I say it comes in the box? Yeah, I did. Okay, so we do need to ship it in the box. But yeah, piston rings. If I would have known they were brand new, I think they were like $60, and that's why I went ahead and risked it. Like I said, I only got 35 from them, but still not bad for a $9 investment, and it sold quick. This was listed not that long ago, maybe a month, 2 months at the max, and it did sell pretty fast, which is really fast for car parts. I've sat on car parts for 2-3 years before they finally sell, and it's just depends on who needs what at the time, and what car it's for and stuff too. Like I said, I don't know what these are for. It looks like Chrysler 300 or Mopar Dodge Chrysler 360. I don't know what that really means, but that's what it was listed under. All right. Let's see. There we go. That's what I like about these flat rate boxes and stuff. One thing I don't mention a lot too is the cost for shipping stuff with the corporate account is based off of the pound. It's a average price for the pound versus 6 ounces, 5 ounces, so on. So that's also why I kind of pack in a little bit different, because I always just round up the nearest pound on it and make up for it, because I know I'm going to stick it in a little bit of a different box. Going to Oregon on the piston rings. All right. I got a question for you guys. Have any of you used Vindu? Vindu is a cross-listing app. If you don't know what it is, I know it's a cross-listing app. I'm curious if any of you guys use it. I'm looking into it because I would like to get my hats and some of that stuff listed over to Mercari. And last I knew, Vindu actually had an auto delist feature. So basically, if you listed it on eBay or Mercari, you could list it to the other one. And when it sold on eBay or Mercari, it would delist it from the other one so that you're not overselling. It was in beta, and as far as I know, I think they released it. It might still be in beta, but they released it and it was working. I've been seeing some sellers talk about it. But I was just curious if any of you guys use it, because I would love to get some actual first-hand experience with it. I don't remember what it costs per month. Obviously, it's a subscription, so it costs so much per month to use it. But I know from cross-listing, you can make it 1 to 2 sales. Mostly you'll make plenty to cover one of those subscriptions. I just don't know if the cross-listing works real well, if it's easy to do. And if it pulls a lot of the categories, I don't want to have to spend a whole bunch of time going through and making sure it has all the information. That's my biggest thing. So I want to be able to hit cross list and it posted over there and me not have to go in and change too much or add too much. If I have to add a little bit, that's fine. But that's what I'm trying to figure out on what's going on or what it takes for them. We sold 2 more of those gas X. I'm out of gas X, guys. Sorry. If you need any of that, I'm out. But I did sell the last of the gas X. Should I name it? Should I say who it is? It's Maria. Maria needed the gas X. It's actually going to Puerto Rico. So, but yeah, I finally sold all of that. We're out of gas X. No more of that. But we paid like 50 cents for those, and we were selling them, I think, for what? Oops, that's not right. Let's see here. What did we sell those for? We can get it to load. $26, so $13 a box on those ones. Not too bad. I will take it. But yeah, the Vendu thing, I just want to be able to cross listing, just be able to do it and not have to worry about it delisting, because I sell stuff pretty regularly on different platforms and it's impossible to keep track of. So if you use it, let me know. I'd appreciate some personal feedback from you, because I'm looking into it. The only thing I'm a little worried about on some of the listings for my stuff is I do variation listings, and I don't think those are going to transport over to like Mercari very well. So I don't know if Vendu will actually take my hat listing that has 6 different sizes and list them individually over there, and it probably isn't going to delist. So I'm guessing my hats aren't going to work for that, which kind of sucks. And so maybe it's not worth it for me, because hats are one of my biggest categories, or my quantity at least is one of my biggest categories. So I don't know, but I'd love to hear from you guys if you do use it. Next sale is this New Era Albuquerque Dukes hat. This is a fitted 1/4 inch. Albuquerque Dukes are not popular. I think it's actually a team that's not in existence anymore, maybe. I don't know, but they still make hats for them and they sell pretty regularly around here, obviously where I'm from. This one's going to Roswell, but we did sell that for $50, and again, the usual $10 to $12 or $10 to $13 is what we have in that one. Going to Lewis here. But yeah, we'll take that sale. Like I said, on the Albuquerque Dukes, is that, I believe, is a baseball team, or it used to be at least, but I could be wrong. Like I said, baseball has never been my sport. Football has been my main one that I always paid attention to and like to play. So I feel like I get left out on some of this stuff, and I'm probably butchering up some information. You guys are just cringing, but you never know. All right, next up we have some more car parts. This is actually from my most recent bin store trip about 2 weeks ago. This is, I can't open it, it's already sealed, but it's Motorcraft, which is Ford brand, water filter kit, fuel and water filter kit. It's brand new. This one is still sealed in there, and we sold it for $59.99, and we paid $9. So there is some money to be made, definitely, in bin stores. You just got to kind of have an idea what you're looking for and make sure you're not getting taken on it. So. But like I said, there's definitely some stuff, and a lot of people don't pay attention to this. A lot of people go to bin stores to find the electronics and stuff. So, you know, car parts and so on, there's a lot of money in them, and if they're brand new, it's definitely worth it. But it gets looked over pretty regularly because nobody wants to sell car parts. I don't mind selling them at all. They, like I said, they make really good money for me, but not everybody does. So you can go in and find that. And actually, some of that stuff I bought this past weekend. Like I said, I went out of town, but ended up at a bin store to look at the liquidation side. They had some stuff they had for sale, tools and stuff like that, at like a buy it now price. And they always have really good deals. So I was looking in there for some stuff to sell or for personal, and they still had the bins going. Obviously, it was well after they had opened for the day, so all the good stuff you thought was gone. But I actually found something, and I found quite a few of them. I'm going to grab it here. In that bin store. So even though it was way late in the afternoon, we actually picked up this flashing tape, selling for $85 on Amazon right now. We'll see if it stays selling that. I have to look at it. There were some sold on eBay for about $70, $75, which seemed really high for this, but it looked good. My comps and everything were looking good, so I decided to take a chance on it. I actually paid $20 a roll for these, so hopefully they do come out. But $20 a roll, and we should be able to sell them for $75, $80, make a good profit on them. And I was able to pick up, I think, 8 of these just from that bin store. So even if you can't go right as they open to get all those crazy deals, there's all kinds of stuff like that that you're going to be able to find when you're looking for it that you may not think about, but there's still really good money in it. Here are some Adidas slides. I don't know where, these probably came from Marshalls, I'm guessing. Marshalls or Ross. And I think we paid $14.99 for them and actually sold them for $39.99. They're a big size 10, women's size 10, but they did finally sell. Took a long time to sell, but they did sell. And like I said, we got $40, which I believe is retail on what these normally cost. These are the Adelites, something like that. They're kind of their higher end, not higher end, but nicer quality slides. They're not their super cheap ones. So they do really well in certain colorways. And if you can find them, especially if you can find them for less than $10, most of the time they're a pretty good pickup. And a lot of times they'll move fast. Like I said, this is a big, size 10 women's is pretty big. So it takes some time for those to sell. But they're going to Columbus, Ohio. Getting over there by Adam a little bit. I know he's in Dayton, but getting close. No. All right, guys, we're coming down to the end of it. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. We got, looks like one more order. One more. Oh, no, okay. So we've got a couple more. Let's see, 3 more orders, it looks like. If I can get all my labels out of the way here. And we'll get you guys on your way. Next up, or actually, I'm lying to you. I think I've only got 1 more order because the other ones are already those ones we have to do off camera. So next up, and one of the last ones here, we have another hat. This is from the first bulk buy that I did. 45 retail on these, and we're only getting $39.99, so a little less than retail. But this was a very common hat. A lot of people were finding these at Burlington's. So the prices tanked terribly on these, but we were able to get, like I said, $40 for a hat that everybody was selling for like $25 when they came out. So when Burlington started getting them, they tanked clear down, I think, to 25, maybe $30, but most of the time they were selling for 25. So they've already come back up from that, and this particular size is a quarter, so it's a good size. It did sell for $39.99. Now I do sell hats, guys, to people that will buy from me, even though I'm not the cheapest price. And that's because they've either bought them from me before they like what they see as far as my store. Hat buyers are picky. They like to make sure they're shipped in boxes and stuff like that, which I completely understand. But I get a lot of repeat buyers now, and that is awesome because a lot of times when a repeat buyer comes in, they're not checking anywhere else. They're going to check you first. And if you have it, they're probably going to buy it from you. So you can even get some better sales out of it just that way. Just getting people that like purchasing from you if you offer them good service and good protection on their item when they ship it. Especially for collectors, that's huge. So definitely something to consider when you are selling items. You don't always have to be the cheapest price. You don't always have to be the cheapest price. All right, we're down to 4 orders, which we've already talked about. We've gotten some orders in, which is cool. Since we've been on here, some hats, a couple of Funko Pops, other things, but we'll cover. But we do have a couple of things here on the table that we'll just talk about since we already have them, and then we'll get everybody out of here. We've got this New Era again, $13 into $45. This is a cool, original price is $40, so we'll take that off. But this is a cool colorway. It's the all yellow colorway. Like the whole thing is yellow, undervisor, logo, everything. And obviously for the Lakers, that's a really cool idea there. We've got the Angels visor here, which retails for $30. I think we sold this one for $34.99, and we paid $2.50 for it. So from a deal I can't share at the moment. I feel like I got a bunch of those. I titled the video, "Where do I source all my inventory?" And then I'm telling you I can't tell you. But that's really the only thing. Hats are the only things I really don't think I can tell you where I get it. We sold 2 more pairs of these going out again, 11 into 30, I believe. Sold that other pair of Nike jock straps there for $40, and we paid, I believe, $10 or $15 for those. And I do believe that is it, guys. I think that is all the orders going out for today. So thank you guys so much for joining in today. Thank you for all your support. You guys have no idea how much it means to me when you guys hang out with me and talk in the chat or just hang out and let me know. You know, I'd much rather talk and do these lives to people live than necessarily, you know, afterwards. I love people that rewatch my product or my content, and I will hope and really ask you guys, please feel free to comment and let me know what you guys think and your opinions on it when you're watching it afterwards. Or if you've got questions, I respond almost in the same day. I try to do my best to respond as quick as I can. So please don't hesitate to let me know if you have questions or anything like that if you're watching this after. But for those of you that do catch the lives and are able to and hang out here all day long with me while we do this, I do appreciate it. If you've got ideas or anything you want to hear or talk about, let me know. I don't want to just be a one-man show up here, always talking about what I'm thinking about. I want to hang out and enjoy some time with you guys as much as we can. So I think that's going to be it for today. Like I said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.